Live on there.
No notifications.
One, two, 1, 2.
Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. You hear us?
1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, come. All right, Shalom. Yep. We are the Hebrew Israelites, and we come out every week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, and also to usher in the salvation and to announce the salvation of the children of Israel, the hopeful elect of Israel. All right. So, but before we do that, we want to give praises to the Most High in the name of His Son Yahushua. All right, in the true Hebrew. Everything cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we want to say Kal,
Alayim,
La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS that rule well and their elders, and shalom to you, Akim, and Akwatim, the children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Today we're going to do a continuation of Revelations chapter 12, all right, which it speaks about the dragon being the EU or Esau, the establishment of the dragon in these last days. Yep, the part that they're going to play in these last days, and showing proof that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. All right, and also it's going to show the salvation of the children of Israel and how the Lord intervenes and sends His angels to deliver in times of trouble. All right, so let's get right into it. Somebody get let's start with what's that, Job? No, 2 Ezra 6. 2 Ezra 6 and 9. Let's start off with that.
2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth."
Right, so we're going to read about that, all right? It said, what should be the parting asunder of time? What's going to be the parting or the changing over of the guard? What's going to be the changing over of the kingdoms? Because we go to Job 9 and 24, somebody get that? All right? Because Esau is ruling the world right now, but we're looking for a new heaven and a new earth. So what are the signs to look for? It's for Esau and rulership. And Esau is not the damn Arabs, Saudi Arabia. All right? The Arabs are Ishmael. And we're going to prove that according to the scriptures as well.
In Job chapter 9, verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right, so that's right. If not, where and who is he? All right, so Esau is that wicked that the Lord prepared for these last days. What's that? He created the wicked for the day of evil.
I got you.
That's right, man. So Esau is that wicked nation. You know, you got the children of men, you got the children of the wicked, and you got children of the sons of God, which are Israelites today. So right now we're reading about the children of the wicked. Go ahead, Doc.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6,
Order wickedness.
and I'm going to start at verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for Himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
That's right, man. So the Lord created Esau for the day of evil. So they're part of prophecy. They're part of the last days before Jacob, in this sense, which would be Yahushua, you know, the leader of Jacob. All right. We represent Jacob. So when Yahushua shows up to snatch Esau down by the heel, man, pull him down at the feet in the time of what? The 10 toes. Okay? Go ahead, Doc.
This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4.
Right.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right, and when did they do that? They wanted to rebuild the desolate places with dirty ass Herod the Great. All right, they wanted to rebuild the desolate places because he found out that he was a damn Edomite and that they were impoverished. So he wanted to go back and rebuild the land of Edom. Go ahead.
It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
Right, because those Edomites, that's when Herod started seeking power within the Roman Empire. So he could take that power and go back and try to heal his land.
It says, They shall build, but I will throw down.
Right, man. So they built Edom, but they wanted to build it over here in America. So the Lord said they built this place up. They built up Europe, and they built up their agencies called NATO, European Union, and the United States, which is a corporation. But the Lord said He's gonna throw all of that down. Interjection? Yeah, you got an interjection real quick. Hey, you going in there?
This is Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
Right, so they set all this in place. They got places called Rothschild Boulevard. They named this whole country after Amerigo Vespucci. You know? So they call the lands after their own names, and they try to set memorials in place like they're going to be here forever. But the Lord said what? They're going to be the main nation that's going to be cast out like an abominable branch. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay.
We're going to wait on that one. Come on. We're going right to that. We're going right to that in a minute. What was that? Border of wickedness? Go ahead, brother. Yep.
This is back at Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever.
Right, so who did He say that against? Y'all know what I said?
Amalek.
Yeah, Amalek. Right, so that's how you know it's not just talking about the place America, it's talking about the Edomites. It said we're going to call them the border of wickedness. All right, and the people of whom the Lord has indignation against forever. All right, so let's get this real quick. Let's see who that nation is.
Exodus 17:16.
Come on. There you go. Exodus 17:16, man. Let's see who that nation is, man.
I got you.
Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 16. For he said, because the Lord have sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
There you go. So the Lord is warring against them spiritually and ultimately physically. He said He's going to destroy them, consume them with the words of His mouth, and destroy them with the brightness of His coming. All right? You got any more on that? That was it, right? All right, so now let's get to the lesson. All right? Let's go to Revelations chapter 12, verse 1. Let's go to 1.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
Right.
A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Right, so that woman is basically talking about the church of Israel, all right? Basically Israelites. But they were crowned with 12 stars, meaning what? The 12 tribes of Israel, but ultimately the elect, okay? These were called what? The stars. Go ahead, brother.
And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered.
Right, so, and that woman is talking about who? Israel in general, all right? But it said what? She cried with pain to be delivered. Who do we need to be delivered from? The Greeks, and it was transitioning into the Roman Empire during the time of the triumvirate. With who was that? Marcus Crassus, Pompey, and Julius Caesar. All right, that was a triumvirate. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having
the sun and the moon under her feet, right? The sun represents that wisdom, and the moon under her feet represents the laws and the statutes and commandments. All right, basically knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Go ahead, brother.
Want me to reread?
Verse 3, go ahead.
Come on. Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
Right, so that ultimately that number would show up to be what? 27. All right, that goes into the beast. You know, originally it goes back to the 10 common markets of Rome. All right, but later it branched out to become what? The European Union, and it wound up becoming what? 27 nations that helped to establish NATO and the EU. All right, you read that real quick, brother?
This is a Wikipedia member state of the European Union. It says the European Union, EU, consists of 27 member states.
Right, that's the dragon.
Which are signatories to the founding treaties of the Union and thereby shares in the privileges and obligations of membership.
There you go. That's the power of Rome. That's that Roman Empire. That power that they have together, that's their power structure, right? But what happened is you had something called the Brexit. All right, because it originally started with the 10. Let's get that in Daniel chapter 7 first. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7 where it talks about the 4th kingdom. All right, because it said what? 27 nations, but it was originally 10. It started off with 10. All right, it's called the 10 common markets. And then you had something called the fall of the Roman Empire in 410 AD. All right? When them damn barbarians and Vikings went over there and destroyed the western leg of the empire.
This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 24.
Right.
And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings. Thou shalt...
Can you go back to that verse? Yeah.
This one?
Yep.
23?
Let's say
Fourth
iron.
beast?
Yeah, 4th beast. Yep.
Okay.
Let's say iron, right? 4th beast with great terrible. No, this is fire.
Okay, yeah. And the 10 horns, which are...
Verse 19.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring it up. You got it.
Is it verse 19?
Yeah, we say the iron. The 4th beast was like iron. A 4th beast, great.
Yeah, 19.
All right.
All right, this is Daniel 7 and 19. And then I would know the truth of the 4th beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, breaking in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet.
Right, that's that iron. All right, that's the Roman Empire, and they built all their weapons with iron. They ruled us with a rod of iron. You know, I mean, the harsh rule shit, man, doesn't it? I'm getting the house like that too. But what he said it was like iron, all right? And it stomped out the residue with the feet of it, meaning they put hell on us. And we were crying to be delivered, all right? Just like in the time of Egypt, we were crying to be delivered from Egypt when they put their harsh work on us and punishment. And the Lord raised up Moses. So in this sense, the Lord raised up who? Yahushua, all right, a deliverer. Go ahead.
And the 10 horns that were in this head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows.
Right, so that's talking about the establishment of America, all right? And you had who? Britain, France, and Spain, okay? During the Great American Wars. Now, America represents what? The revived Roman Empire. That's the Roman Empire, deadly wound being healed. Okay? So now let's get back to somebody go to let's go back to Revelation 12 again.
All right.
We're gonna bounce back and forth.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 4.
No, verse 3. I'm gonna stop you again.
Go on. Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon.
Right, so that red, we know that red represents Esau. All right, the first was, somebody get that? Genesis 25. All right, and we know that in Revelation 6, the red horse. They're talking about Alexander, the establishment of the Edomites' rulership on this earth. Okay. Go ahead, brother.
Or the book of Genesis, chapter 25, starting at verse 23. Right, it says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Right, 2 nations. The nation of Israel, we don't have to get it. The nation of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the speckled bird Israelites scattered around the four corners of the earth, going against Esau. All right, in Rebekah's womb. And in a sense, the earth is like a womb. You know? And we still battling and warring against Esau. And the Lord is still warring against Esau. But the Lord said they're going to be the only nation that gets cut off completely. All right, wiped off the earth. Yeah, a little bit more.
2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Right, so our blessing is stronger than theirs. You see that? Their blessing is what? The sword. Our blessing is the spirit. So we're stronger than them. All right? Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Right, so that was the law. By the law, the elder would serve the younger. All right? But the Lord changed that and made the
older
so like I said, yeah, I just cut it too. I just cut it. All right? So yeah, in ancient times, the elder, the younger would serve the elder, you know, like a younger brother. And the elder brother would get all the inheritance from the father and the mother and distribute it to the rest of the family. But in this case, the Lord changed it and said the elder is going to serve the younger. So Esau is going to be a servant to Israel, all right, to Jacob. The Most High set that up. That's why Esau said that. My brother have supplanted me these 2 times. You know, meaning what? He has taken it illegally, meaning not according to the law.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
That's right, man. So it came out red like a hairy garment. And at that time, it meant what? We used to use badger skins and dye them red, you know? So that's what it was talking about. He came out red, just like those hairy garments be red, all right? Like blood red. And that word goes back to crimson, meaning criminal. All right, so let's get this. So he said the dragon has 7 heads, which represents NATO, and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. All right. Where we at?
Verse 4.
Verse 3.
We're going into the red.
Yeah, the dragon, right? Now let's go over to chapter 13 and 1.
This is Revelations 13 and 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
There you go. Yeah.
And
there you go.
And upon his head the names of blasphemy.
There you go. Right. Yeah. So go ahead. That's talking about the beast, NATO.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Right. So it was like the Greek Empire when they started off. All right. Go ahead. And the end of it represents the bear, which would be Russia. Go ahead.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
Right. So that's how you know. In these last days, you don't see the Saudi Arabia doing that. This talking about Europe. Europe is the one that gave power to NATO, the beast. Europe is the one that gave power to America, the whore. All right? And that mouth was who? Britain. So let's go back to Revelations 12.
This is Revelation chapter 12.
We got a few more precepts to get to.
We start back at verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Right, so that 10 horns, right? I'm gonna stop you a lot. The 10 horns, what it said, that's the 10 horns that were of iron. That's how you know it's talking about the Roman Empire right here. All right, and the next verse is definitely gonna get more clear. But let's get Daniel chapter 2 real quick. Right? Let's get that in Daniel 2. Right up here somewhere. Yeah, it should say feet. Actually, let's go down here and get more clear. Yeah, probably from the one.
This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 41.
Yeah.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay, and part of iron.
There go that iron again. You see that? So you got to follow the trail, the trend. There go that iron again. But now this iron is going to be partly broken. Meaning it wasn't going to be as strong as it used to be. And that's why you're seeing Esau fumbling the ball all over the media. You know, and what you call what? The Brexit. And the ITEL exit, Frexit, all these nations leaving, but the only one that really left was who? Britain. All right, they left, creating what you'll call the Brexit, and this prophecy coming to pass. Go ahead, brother.
This is back at Daniel chapter 2, verse 41. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay.
Right, there you go, man. All right, so they're divided now. That's what you call the Brexit. All right, but again, that iron goes back to the Roman Empire, which today would be called the EU, the European Union. All right, so they're part iron and part clay, but the strength of Rome is still in them. That's why you got it to where they opened their borders to where people could travel from Britain into like France. People from France could travel anywhere in Europe. They're keeping that power system together. But the Brexit did happen. And since the Brexit happened, that opened up for a lot of prophecies, such as Ezekiel 38, where the Lord put the hooks back in Russia's jaws to become the Soviet Union again. And also the establishment of the 27 members of the EU. With 28, it was before, but when Britain left, it was only 27. Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 25.
Right, we're about to move.
It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. You know, and that's just how the elder was speaking on, you know, with the Daniel, man. That iron and clay mixed together, you know. You have one strong and one being able to be brought down, man. So just like that being said, hey, those two mixing together being basically faced against each other, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that house cannot stand. Why? Because they supposedly on the same team, but have two opposing different sides, man. You know?
That's right, man. That lets you know what time we're in the prophecies. Let's keep going. We might have to move, man. All right, so let's go back. Yep.
Revelation 12.
Yeah, so now we've proven who the dragon is. You know. Yep, it said 10 horns. And the iron, that goes to the Roman Empire, man.
This Revelation 17 and 8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is.
That's right, man. See that? And yet is. What's that? The Roman Empire. All right, the beast that was and is not. They got destroyed in 410 AD, the fall of the Roman Empire, but now it is again. Right? And now it's like, damn, it was part of prophecy. You know, the Roman Empire did exist. It's back. Yeah, it's back through the EU and America.
It was the beast that was wounded that was healed.
There you go. That's right. The beast that was wounded that got healed, man. The Roman Empire. All right. The deadly wound was healed. That shit throwing me off, but it's all good. I don't know. If we move, we'll probably go over there. If we do. Well, over here. Which one? Right over here, probably, right? Yeah. If we do. Y'all want to move? I think we should, probably, right? Yeah, let's move. I don't even want to play around with this shit today, man. They're going to get louder. Fucking head here, we start yelling. All right, let's rock, man. Get right into it. real loud, but it's cool. That's loud. That's loud, but yeah.
¿Quieren mi bolso? My bag. Oh,
Vámonos.
Alright. Somebody get John 8:42. I think it's good on Daniel, right? Yeah, I think it's good on that. Just trying to show that point. Bragging.
Say John 8:42.
Yeah.
All right. This is the book of St. John, chapter 8, and verse 42. Yahushua said unto them, if Yahweh were your father, ye would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from the Most High, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word.
Right, so the one, that's what the brother Thanyala just read that. You know, the ones that have their mind in this world can't understand the breakdown, they're going to be shocked. Like, oh, wow, the Rome still exists? I thought it got destroyed. No, America is that revised Roman Empire. All right? Go ahead, brother. Keep going on with the 47.
All right. Verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do.
Right, 2/3 of our people, and also the people like Herod. Herod was of his father, the devil, the deceiver. Okay, go ahead.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
That's right, so they're the murderers. They still on this earth, man. You see that? Go ahead.
And abide not in the truth.
Right, so not in the truth. Go ahead.
Because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own.
Right, what's that? Trust not thine enemy? Yeah.
For he is a liar and the father of it.
Yes, right. They're the liar and the father of it. If you look back at the history of the Roman Empire, you know, now they call themselves God's people, putting the images up of themselves. But they're the same devils from the Roman Empire that the Lord was speaking about, telling us about them, man. Yep, go ahead.
The 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 5.
Okay.
Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things?
Right, Yahushua told us. He keeps saying that.
And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
See, now we know, and it being revealed in these times, the last days. All right, go ahead.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Yep, there you go. That's the mystery of iniquity, the mystery of wickedness. Who's the wicked nation on this earth? That's Esau. Who's the wicked? That's them damn Romans. All right. Wait.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Wow, man. So they're being consumed by this truth. And what are they? The father of lies. So they're being consumed, and the Lord gonna destroy them with the brightness of his coming. Yep, that was it.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
That's right, man. So people like Herod, the Roman Empire, Vocab Malone, you know, they throw him in there.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yeah, him too.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
There you go, man. So 2/3 of our people can't understand this, that they are the devil, the deceiver that the Bible speaks of, man.
And Paul gave distinction of who he was talking about, because in verse 3 it said that it won't happen till there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed.
Yeah.
He was talking about Titus and Vespasian and the rise of the Roman Empire.
That's right. That's right, man. Yep. He said the man of sin. That's them damn Edomites. And that's exactly what Titus and Vespasian was, just like Biden. Go ahead,
Or it's the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Right, because if you look into their history, you'll see you shouldn't trust the Roman Empire. You shouldn't trust the mystery of iniquity that was already at work. Look what they did to our people, man. They said we were crying out. Our people ain't crying out right now. They're crying out, but not to the Lord. You know, they're crying out for rights in this place. They're crying out to become better Romans.
Better Americans.
Yeah, Americans, same thing.
If I may add on, just like the scripture say, what you know, they go down to Egypt for help, man. You know, they going to the wrong owner, man. You know, hey, they going to the creation instead of to the creator, you know. So, hey, they going down to Esau, as we was talking about the other day. Hey, as you say, you biting the hand that feeds you, which in a sense 2/3 of our people are doing, man. Hey, why? Because the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh trying to feed them spiritually with these scriptures, but yet they biting the hand, man. But yet, hey,
like, what the heck going on?
they rubbing the caressing the hand that's poisoning them at the same time, man, which is Esau, you know. Taking up for him, but yet deferring away the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man.
Right, man. They want to save everybody, like they're teaching these Christian churches. John 3:16, save everybody. Or they think the world is going to continue on in Esau's rulership, just like Esau. They're in the mindset of Esau, because Esau believed that their house is going to continue forever. When it's not. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Ezekiel Chapter 21 and verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. You know, so shall we then make mirth? What conversation we ought to be in, being the Lord's children, being the Lord's people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, we're in the times of judgment and utter destruction, man. All right, in the brinks of the Third World War. Whoa,
And that sword is being sharpened. Who is the sword of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai? Esau. All right, that glittering sword, that glistening sword that shall be bathed in heaven, man. This place is going to be ultimately destroyed. This is the whole setup. That's the whole reason for the Roman Empire developing America and then developing, splitting the atom, developing the first nuclear bomb to create. The Lord said He created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. That's sharpening the sword, man. He's opening up His armory, all to bring Him forth His indignation and destroy this place, man.
I have an objection.
Right. Go ahead, Alex.
This is the book of Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret place, and he should not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbor, and he is not.
All right, he don't even know the trap that's being set upon him, man. Like, not only is Esau, because once you strip America of its riches, come sit down in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Once you strip America of everything like these other nations are going to do, you start to strip Esau bare, man. Because Esau is the foundation. I mean, America is the foundation of Edom, man. This is the capital of Edom. But the wise men of Teman over there in Europe, they're the financiers of everything. They're pulling all the strings. And they don't understand that stripping America of its glory is also stripping them of their glory too. All right?
Yeah, we'll speak on this one too. Real Revelations 21 and 1. I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
All right, so the first heaven and the first earth is passed away. Like, if you go back to our slavery days, this is heaven for Esau, man. So this first system, this first earth, the first time period is passed away. So now we're transitioning into a new time period, man.
Right, I'm talking about going all the way back to the time of Adam. All of that's passing away.
All that's passing away.
That's right.
Sin's gonna be passed away.
Yep.
For the children of Israel.
Right. It says what? Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
All right, so that goes against the theory that this earth is gonna blow up and you guys gonna have to move to another earth. When it said the first earth and the first heaven that passed away, the first rulership and the first system is gonna be passed away.
2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
And what is that? Your nuclear fallout. Missiles being dropped everywhere. This whole system being obliterated and destroyed,
right,
and brought down to the foundation.
Right, all the works that Esau has done.
It's gonna be stubble.
That's right. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
So why are you trying to establish something on this side, IUIC, ISUPK? All right, why would you want to establish something that's mystical? Everything that's being brought up and erected in this system is being erected to be destroyed. All right, it said if it's even his children, if his children be multiplied, it's for the sword, man.
Right. They say punks jump up to get beat down.
God.
All right, man. That was good speaking too, brother. All right, where was that? Anybody got a precept we was on?
Revelation 12. You on that?
Revelation 12. We did John 8 all the way to 47, right? 42 and 47.
I stopped at 44.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
All right, this is back at St. John, chapter 8, verse 45. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Which of you conceive me of sin?
Oh, and man, listen, yo, Yahweh Shai was going off of them because they were so caught up in them traditions of men and try to please the Romans that they didn't even understand that Yahweh Shai was sent by the Father. So if you really had love for the Father, you would have accepted Yahweh Shai. That's what Yahweh Shai was trying to explain to him at that moment. But you're so caught up in the authoritative seat that the Romans have given you, all right, that you didn't want to lose your seat because Yahweh Shai was denouncing your throne, man. Yahweh Shai was saying, this is the way, I'm the way, but they wanted everybody to go through them. So the Lord was condemning them and saying, man, you are your father, the devil, the Romans.
Right, yep, because Yahweh Shai was a threat to them.
Khan.
Yahweh Shai is a threat to their power seat.
Khan.
Just like Yahweh Shai is a threat to IUIC's power seat, their money. They start saying the name Yahweh Shai, they're going to lose their followers and their money.
And what did they say? Just like they said it in those times, they said Caesar is our king.
Yeah, yep, that's right, man.
And if I say the truth, why do ye believe me not? Shalaki, why ye not believe me? He that is of the Most High heareth the Most High's word. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Most High.
That's right, that was all the way to 47?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, so that's the point, man. So if anybody can't understand that, and they're saying that Esau is the Arabs, they can't understand it because they're not of the Most High. All right? And we're proving it according to the scriptures, as the elders and many Akim have done many times before.
And that's also why scripture say my sheep shall hear my voice, man. So therefore, if you have any other shepherd trying to come up to you, all right, and it's not that good shepherd, the Lord Yahweh Shai, man, hey, you're not going to obtain to that voice, man. So just like the elder said, yeah, Esau is the Arabs, this, that, and the third. John the Baptist is not a man of the Lord. Hey, those things are not of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's not of his spirit, man. So therefore, you're not of his fold, man. Why? Because you wouldn't be out here teaching these lies, you know?
Right, man. Called heresies. Something that somebody made up. All right, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 53:1. It says, who hath believed our report? And to whom is the arm of the Lord Yahweh revealed?
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
God. So it says, who has believed our report? You know, who are the ones?
Yep, the arm of the Lord, the arm of your youth, right? I was just saying that Yahweh Shai is the arm. So who has Yahweh Shai been revealed to?
Who has he been revealed to?
Right.
He has been revealed to only those that have been given unto him. Like the brother was reading in John.
Right.
The other, we'll say the wicked of our people, they didn't believe. When Yahweh Shai was here, they didn't even understand that Yahweh Shai was sent of Yahweh, because they was too busy, like the brother Canuck said, they were too busy in pleasing man.
Right, and themselves. You had the Sadducees that had their own belief. They didn't believe in the spirit or the resurrection or the Son of the Most High. And you had the Pharisees, they only believed in the law and the ways of Moses. And you know, and if with Yahweh Shai on the scene, they got to step down and they got to do what Yahweh Shai says. And whomever Yahweh Shai set up to be priest, because at that time the Most High designated Yahweh Shai to be the high priest. He said, "This is my beloved son, hear ye him." And they didn't like that.
And another thing is, and Yahweh Shai was trying to explain to them, if you were really caught up in Moses, because they were really caught up in themselves. Yeah. But if you really believe Moses, because Moses said, he prophesied of Yahweh Shai coming, said, there shall be risen up among your brethren one like unto me, him shall ye listen to. Yep. All right, so when Yahweh Shai came onto the scene, they didn't listen to him, so they didn't believe Moses.
Right. That's right, man. All right. So let's get into more that the Lord. Somebody get Revelations 1. Go ahead.
I just was gonna get a scripture on that topic on just vainglory, and it's Galatians 5:26. Let us not be the serious of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Because that's ultimately what those wicked scribes and Pharisees did. All right, they was caught up into themselves, even so much that they add on to the word, man, and create their own wayward doctrines, the heresies. You know?
Right, man.
The last chapter of the book, Revelations 22 and verse 18. Any man addeth to the word of the Lord, all right, he's gonna add those plagues unto you, man. Roughly paraphrase.
And what did Yahushua do? Yahushua, they were talking about law, but Yahushua condemned them according to the law. What did Yahushua say? He said one that curses his mother or father is in danger of the judgment. But if somebody was, but they weren't doing anything about it. Somebody can curse their mother and their father, but give a gift unto the church or give money unto the church, and they wouldn't get the condemnation for condemning their mother or their father or trespassing against their mother or father. But if you say something about the gift given unto the church, then you're afraid you're in danger of the judgment according to the Pharisees and Sadducees. All right, so the Lord was condemning them according to the own law and telling them that they're following traditions of men and not following the law to exactly the way they're supposed to.
Done, bro. All right.
Revelations 1 and what?
No, let's get this first. Let's go to what's that? Maccabees, where it said no, this is what's that? First Maccabees? Which one? Where it said they started following the ways of the Gentiles. The heathen, the custom of the heathen.
First Maccabees 1 and 11.
Right.
Let us make a covenant with heathen.
Yeah, somebody get there real quick. I'm trying to find it. You know, the rededication.
Yeah, first Maccabees 1 and 11, I think.
This is First Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Keep going.
All right. Verse 12. Yep. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem.
Right, they built the gym. Right, so we ain't gotta go no further. So when did that happen? 168 BC, right? That was with what was his name again? Antiochus Epiphanes and the Greeks, and that was before the Roman Empire. So this was the during the time of the Maccabees. Once the Hasmonean dynasty was established through Judas Maccabee, you had also the Sanhedrin that was set up. Well, it wasn't the Sanhedrin yet. It was called the Pharisees and the Sadducees. All right, so the Lord set them up. The Most High set that up. All right, and he established that like a government almost. You know, a form of government. So we'll have a type of priesthood again after the rededication of the temple. So now, when the Roman Empire came on the scene, you had people like Pompey, who took down Jerusalem in, I think it was 63 BC. All right. And you had people like Julius Caesar in 45 BC, who set up Herod the Great over Jerusalem, over Judea, king of Judea. So so all of that was being established. The Sanhedrin, which was the Sadducees and Pharisees that was set up as a government under the Roman Empire, so the Roman Empire could deal with the government to deal with the people. All right. And they established Herod over Judea. And then when Yahushua was born, that's why he was like, where is this guy, the king of the Jews? I'm the king. He wanted to be king. All right, the Roman Empire wanted to rule over Israel. So that's why Yahushua was a threat to him. Why? Because it said what? It said the government over his shoulders.
I got you. Jeremiah 9 and 16.
Right, because they heard about the prophecies.
Isaiah 9 and 16.
Yep, Herod heard about the prophecies because he wanted to be a Jew. You see that? But they sought to paint the likeness of their images in our book. You know? So yeah, the Lord set up what you would call the Pharisees and the Sadducees. That's why the Lord called them builders. They were the builders, like Yahushua was the stone that the builders refused. All right, so Yahushua established that, the Pharisees and Sadducees. And I'm saying that for a reason. Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Can you imagine being an Edomite hearing that? You know, oh, hell no. You know, that's why they wanted to kill him. They're like, what? He's going to be the governor and he's going to be upon his shoulders. What? He's wonderful. You know? So that was a prophecy spoken of by Isaiah. You know? So, yeah, man. So now let's get back to it with this understanding. Because the stars, where it say the 12 stars, that was really talking about at that time the Sadducees and the Pharisees that were established, which would still be 12 tribes of Israel. Now watch this. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 4.
Wait, let me get there with you. 12, verse 4.
Come on.
Yep.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth.
There you go. See, those same Sadducees and Pharisees, the wicked ones, they got cast to the earth. Meaning what? He drew the 12 third part of the stars, meaning drew them into their ways. You know, got them to think like the Romans, got them to be wicked. And when they did that, they got cast to the earth, 70 AD. All right. So it says what? Keep going. So they were the Sadducees and the Pharisees were set up to be exalted. You know, they were like the wise ones at the time. But then they got cast down to the earth. They fell. They were wicked, the wicked ones. All right. So
keep going.
No, I want to get a couple precepts real quick. Somebody get James 1 and 12 all the way to 15. Let's deal with that real quick. And we're gonna read that again in a minute, though. You know, when he drew the 12th, third part of the stars, that means a third. You know, it means a small group.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 12.
Right. It wasn't all the stars that got drawn from that exalted seat. It was only a few of them. All right. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that endured temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Right. So, yep. We're being tried right now. We're chasing after that incorruptible crown, which is eternal life and being righteous. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh, for Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man.
Right, so they were still talking to these 7 churches and also to the scribes and Pharisees, the wicked ones. Go ahead.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
There you go. So all them Sadducees and Pharisees, they were telling people they had to be circumcised to be delivered. They were willing to kill somebody. They even set up Yahushua to be killed. You see that? So they were siding with the Romans. So he drew them down from that rulership. All right? Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 9 and verse 16.
Right. These are what you call puppet rulers. And also they were kicking our ass with the triumvirate. All right, go ahead.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of
adjacent
the water, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these 3 was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths.
Right, and that's ultimately talking about the wicked. All right, you got 2/3 of our people that are wicked. You know, the third part of men represent Esau, but our people following after the ways of Esau.
It pertaining to the book of John 8 and 44.
Yep.
All right, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father he will do. Which he was speaking on about Cain, all right, but he was talking to 2/3 of our people, man.
That's right, and the Lord said, what? He gonna number them with the wicked. All right, so that's right, man. So those same wicked scribes and Pharisees that fell off back then, that John was going against. That's why he set up his own stuff called the baptism. He was staying away from them. All right, and he had his own followers like Andrew, which was the older brother of Peter. You know, and he was teaching them about Yahushua showing up and the true way of repentance, not just going to sacrifice anymore. You know, sacrificing the lamb and then still being wicked. All right, let's keep going.
12.
Revelation 3:1.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 1. And to the angel of the church and
Sardis.
and Sardis, write these things, saith he that hath the 7 spirits of Yahweh and the 7 stars. I know thy works, that thou hast a name, that thou livest and art dead.
Right, because when the Lord speaks about stars, he always talking about his leaders that he set up. All right, and in this sense, this would be one of the what you call a disciple. All right, even if it ain't one of the disciples, it's still a believer. It would be an angel that was sent to that church, which would be a messenger. So before the disciples was on the scene, who would be the stars? It would be the ones that were keeping the laws. It's called the circumcision. All right. So those stars of the 12 tribes of Israel, it said a third of them fell. All right, let's get to it. Go ahead.
Okay. Revelation chapter 12, start back at verse 4.
Yep.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
That's right. So let's get into that now. All right. So that dragon is showing even more who the dragon is. It had to be the Roman Empire because they're talking about who? Herod. All right. When Herod set out to kill our Messiah, Yahushua, all right, at his birth. Shalom, Mark. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. What's that? 2 Maccabees 1:11. Can somebody see what that is?
You just read that, didn't you?
You just read 1:11?
That was first Maccabees.
You said second Maccabees.
You said second Maccabees?
Yeah, 2 Maccabees. Second time, because I don't know what I put here.
1:11?
The one I
Yeah.
had brought up? That was first.
Yeah, that was first Maccabees, I think. Yeah.
It says, 2 Maccabees 1:11, it says, insomuch as the Most High have delivered us from great perils, we think him highly as having been in battle against the king.
Keep going.
All right. Verse 12, it says, for he cast them out that fought within the holy city, for when the leader was come into Persia.
Okay, yeah. They're talking about Antiochus, yeah, but we don't get into that. Let's get Matthew 1:13. I'm about to read that later too. It's talking about I think Antiochus going in.
This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 13. And Zerubbabel began.
Oh, a little louder, brother. Nice and clear. Zerubbabel?
Is what you want? And Zerubbabel began Abivid, and Abivid began Eliakim, and Eliakim began Azor.
Oh, Matthew chapter 2, verse 1?
2 and 1.
Yeah, 2 and 1.
This is Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea.
Right, so it's talking about Yahushua on his birth. He was born in 4 BC, all right? 4
In the
BCE.
days of Herod the king.
I'm going to stop you a lot. So.
Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem.
Right, it never said 3 wise men, as you can see clearly. As they teach in church that it's 3 wise men, it just says wise men. It was a group of them, just like it's a group of us today. All right, they were known as wise men that were waiting on the sign of Yahushua for his birth. Just like it was a lot of people waiting for Yahushua to be born. That's why they were called the lost sheep, having no shepherd. All right, these were the ones that were waiting on the Lord. Go ahead.
Saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews?
Right, so they were mad. Right, so these are the wise men saying, where is he that was born King of the Jews, man? It was looking for him. Just like we looking for Yahushua today. All right, go ahead.
For we have seen his star in the east.
Right, so they saw a chariot in the east. Go ahead.
And are come to worship him.
Is that right? So go ahead, brother.
When Herod the king had heard these things.
Right, go ahead. So you said Herod?
When Herod had heard these things,
I thought you said hater. Herod. Okay, go ahead, brother.
when Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled.
Right, so he was troubled. See, these devils is troubled. That's why the Lord said that, man. What's that, Revelations 11? When the Spirit came into them? That's right.
Spirit of life came into them, they became a shitty group.
That's right, man, and great fear fell on them. That's right. Why? Why? Because of this. Galatians 4, Abba Father. Whoever get it first, bring it up. 11, I think it's at the bottom. 11.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushua, entered into them.
That's right. So what's that Spirit? Somebody get that? Galatians 4, Abba. Right? So the Spirit of life, the Spirit of truth entered into us around the 1960s during the time of Abba Bivens. All right? The prophecy of Abba Bivens showing up as John the Revelator. I mean, John the Baptist. Right? Showing up as John. Going according to the prophecy in Malachi. All right? Of Elijah being returned and returning the hearts of the fathers to the children and the hearts of the children to the fathers. Yep, go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, starting at verse 4.
Right, this is that Spirit that was sent to us.
But when the fullness of the time was come, Yahweh sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law.
Ooh, see, we're going into that. How Yahweh was made under the law. Why? According to the prophecies, he was born according to the prophecies. And Mary kept the law perfect too with Joseph. All right, the 8 days of separation and all of that. Go ahead, brother.
To redeem them that were under the law.
So who is that? To redeem the Israelites, according to Romans chapter 9. Go ahead,
that we might receive the adoption of sons, and because ye are sons, Yahweh have sent forth the Spirit of his Son into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father.
Right, and we crying, Abba, Father. We calling out for Yahweh. And he said, what? His name is dreadful? Can I get that? You know that? His name is dreadful among the heathen? I know you know that. His name is dreadful among the heathen? That's right, man. So now we're calling out Abba, Father. What's that, Proverbs 1? Wisdom cry at the street? I get it. That's right, man. And go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 14.
13, I think. It says, lift you up a banner. It might be an angel. I think it's Isaiah 13, 50.
But cursed be the deceiver which have made Shalaki. This is on the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 14. But cursed be the deceiver which have in his flock a male and in valor and sacrifice unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, said the Lord of hosts,
right.
And my name is dreadful among the heathen.
You're right. You got it. That's right. So his name, now the Lord has put his Spirit into us, calling out Abba, Father. Right? And where is that in Proverbs? Yeah, read this real quick. And we're doing this where? On the street.
This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets.
That's right.
She crieth in the chief places of concourse.
What's up?
In the openings of the gate.
Yep.
In the city, she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning.
That's right. So we come out here and we cry out to the Father out in the open. All right. So now that name is dreadful among the heathens, right? You got something else I missed? Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt thy voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right, and what they're going to say in the gates of the nobles? They're going to be telling Esau, according to Revelation 13, that they're going in slavery. What they're going to be saying in the gates of the nobles? We're going to be calling out to the Father out in the open. That's scary as hell to them. We're calling on our help. All right, we're looking to the hills, to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua for help.
And they call it anti-Semitic.
That's right, man.
When they see signs of Yahushua coming back and things like that,
they call it being anti-Semitic, and when we're Shemitic.
It's really anti-Edomite. That's what they're trying to say. You know, Esau was using code words and shit. You know, they don't have no problem changing the word around. Right, let's finish that. Where was that? Somebody reading something?
12.
Revelation 11. Right?
No.
Oh, that was
11. That was Revelation 11. Okay. Revelation 11?
11 and 11.
Yeah, I think you were reading.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai entered into them.
There you go. Yahweh Shai's spirit, us calling out Abba Father, Yahweh. Go ahead.
And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
See that? That's why they got fear. All right, that's why they scared, because they see us calling out to the name that's dreadful among them. All right? And we standing upon our feet. Not just because we standing, but that we calling out to the Father, man. That's scary to them. Go ahead, brother.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 7. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried to my power, and he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry entered into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven moved and shook because he was wroth. There went out a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. So that's what King David calling upon the Lord when he said hell had compassed him round about.
Yeah, the Philistines.
And that's the same thing we're doing right now to this day, calling upon the Lord. And he said when he called upon the Lord and the Lord heard, the Lord was wroth, and the earth started to shake. All right, so that tormenting of those two prophets that was spoken of earlier in verse 8 on Revelations 11, all right, that we used to torment them with, that tormented feeling is coming right back in them to this day.
That's right, man. Look, watch him shake. Yahweh. See that part in Lion King when they kept saying Mufasa and the hyenas started shaking? You know? We say the name Yahweh and things start moving. All right? That's right, man. We out here talking about Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai.
That's all, you know. So-called.
Hey, God.
Right, man.
Hey, shit, we that little cub down here that's a Mufasa, then that big roar come out finding their ass scared.
Right, man. Yeah, that big roar behind us, right?
Yeah,
we down here roaring. That's a good lesson, man. All right, for the children and stuff to watch. Yeah, that's a good one. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel 37 and 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
Right, man. Army of the Lord, man. All right? An army of the Lord that prays. That's the most powerful army in the world. A praying army. You know, now we're praying to the Lord, and they messed up.
You know them fucked up, right?
You know that's right.
At that point.
Go ahead, Kabosh, you finished where you was at? Yeah, Matthew, where was that?
Quick precept.
Matthew 2 and 4.
Oh, we got one more precept. Go ahead.
This is Judith chapter 9, verse 11. It says, "For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor thy might in strong men. For thou art a God of the afflicted and helper of the oppressed, an upholder of the weak and protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope." You know, just like the elder was saying, man, hey, it's not stronger than the army that's on their knees, man. You know, hey, so with that being said, praying. All about this.
They got their little letter community. They like, you motherfucking right.
Take the fight. You're gonna have all of where is this army?
Precept. All right, go ahead real quick.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapon of war. For thee will I break in pieces the nations, and thee will I destroy kingdoms.
You got it.
Oh, you want me? All right.
Oh, you just help him out.
Go ahead, speak on it.
Oh, come man. We're the Lord battle axe. We're meant to destroy kingdoms, man.
Right.
For y'all by some outside.
Right. The best way to do it is what? Through his word. That's right. His word, man, prophesying. That's how you're gonna destroy it, with the stone that's gonna destroy the 10 toes.
And declaring the downfall of the sinful kingdom.
I could say the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, man.
And how was this established with Alexander, right? And going into Revelation chapter 6 is established with Alexander, but within that, the establishment of their kingdom, in his mind, he knew that what would destroy the kingdom, because he said he's not afraid of an army of lions led by sheep. He's afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion. And what is that referencing to? The children of Israel rising up, being led by Yahushua, man.
Right.
The conquering lion of Judah.
Precept real quick. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, the mountain of Israel, and that it break in pieces the iron and the brass and the clay and the silver and the gold, the great power Yahweh have made known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure.
It's certain and sure.
Right, so the stone is that same stone that the builders, the Pharisees, the wicked scribes and Pharisees refused. All right, they refused Yahushua. So he's the stone that's going to show up and destroy them, man. And our prayers are a part of that. Revelations 8. Baba Kushah, the prayers. That's right, man. So when we pray to Yahweh, not to Jesus, that's not his name. Jesus is the devil's name. Hey, Zeus. We don't deal with Zeus and the funky juice. We'll say the prayers. It should be like 4. 4? Okay, it was. Yeah. That's right, because that's why the Lord said he's going to consume them with the brightness of his coming. So when we praying, the Father hears that, man, he building it up.
Revelations chapter 8 and verse 4.
Started 3.
In verse 3. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne.
See, our prayers get offered up by the angel Raphael, all right? And whatever angels are under him. That's his duty, to take our prayers to the Father, all right? Go ahead. Yeah, definitely.
After that one?
After that one? Yeah. I think I know what you're doing. Go ahead.
And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended up before Yahweh out of the angel's hand.
Yep, keep going.
And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth.
That's judgment.
And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake, and the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound.
There you go, the 7 angels, right? So that's the destruction. All right, so when the Lord gets our prayers, he gonna take that, he gonna what? Bring everything we praying about and prophesying about. And we pray according to the scriptures. We pray that the Lord bring fire. We're not praying that he bring water. We're praying that the Lord bring fire to this place. And that's how he gonna do it. We're praying that the Lord destroys Esau according to Revelations, what's that, 13? Captivity and all that? Precept, right, brother?
Yeah.
This
is the book of Obadiah, 21 straight. And a Savior should come up on Mount Zion to judge the month of Esau. And the kingdom should be the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua.
That's right. So when the kingdom is given to Yahushua, he going to raise up saviors, just like him. You know, his elect. And they're going to show up on the mount of Esau and put them in slavery. That's what we're praying for. That those that led us into captivity shall go into captivity. All right, that's what we're reading about. When we read about Herod, and we read about the dragon and the Roman Empire as iron, you know? Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 7. Unto you, therefore, which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed.
Right, that's talking about them wicked scribes and Pharisees. Not all of them were wicked, but the ones that thought they were better than Yahushua.
And when the Savior when the Savior showed up, they expected to be like knighted when the Savior showed up, like patted on the back, like, yeah, good job. When the Savior showed up, he like, nah, you get your ass out the way. Nah, no, this is my foundation. This is how it's going to be set up. But they didn't like that. That's why they're like, nah, we got to get him out of the way. Yeah. But it was all according to prophecy, man.
That's right, all according to prophecy, man. That's right. So let's keep going. We out here to wake up the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to the fact that they're the Israelites of the Bible. That's right. God is about to return. And his name is Yahweh. He trying to run. He can't run from this. He trying to run.
Where are you going?
He turned the Forrest Gump quick.
Ain't stopped running yet.
That nigga turned the Forrest Gump, boy. Somebody take over where he was at?
Matthew what?
2 and 1. Or 2 and 2. Let's start from there. Matthew 2 and 2. Let's go back to that real quick.
What verse?
Matthew 2 and 2.
Okay, 2.
Right, because we're still reading about the dragon, how it was. Let's get that. Revelation 12.
All right.
You know, I always like to go back to the river, you know.
Revelation chapter 12 in verse 5. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught, and her child was caught up unto Yahweh and to his throne.
Good. So, right. So the dragon was waiting, right?
Go on.
It was waiting.
You want me to read it?
No, I got you. It brought forth a man-child, talking about Israel, right? And the she represents Israel, the nation of Israel being the woman. The Lord said he has likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. And it says what? Who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. That's what the Most High told to Yahushua. He said, what is that? You should break them, you should rule them with a rod of iron. He said it just like that.
Yeah, he did it. He said it in
break them like a potter's vessel.
He said that to King David.
Yep. He said it twice in the Bible. One time he said it about Yahushua, and that time what you're talking about. Then later on, Yahushua said it about us.
Revelations 2.
30.
Go ahead, read that one.
Revelations 2 and 27. So lucky. Anybody get it first?
I got a precept.
Yeah.
I need the vessel one real quick. He should rule.
30 and 14.
He gonna rule with a rod of iron.
This Revelations 2 and 27. He shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
Woo.
Even as I received of my Father.
All right, man. All right. So
I will give him the morning star.
Yeah, man.
Which is him himself.
That's right. So that right there was talking about the Lord raising up men that are going to rule with the rod of iron, just like Esau did to us. All right, double unto them what they've done to us. Okay.
Precept.
So where it says right here that child was going to rule all nations, and with a rod of iron, that's talking about harsh rulership, righteousness against wickedness. Man, he gonna put down all wickedness, man. Ain't gonna be able to rear up his ugly head anymore. Precepts?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, let's get them all. Let's keep the speed going.
This is Psalms chapter 2,
God damn.
verse 8. It says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen of for thine inheritance.
Start at 6.
Right, so now he's talking about us. Go ahead, talking about King David.
This is Psalms chapter 2, starting at verse 6.
Right? Yeah.
It says, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion.
Yep.
I will declare the decree. The Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua have said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee.
Right, and this was basically Yahushua, all right? He was talking about Yahushua, right? But we're going to say the same thing. But it's really talking about what Yahushua was going to do. Go ahead.
Verse 8, it says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Right, that's why his inheritance is to rule all nations. Go ahead.
And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possessions. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
Wow, man. That's right. So yeah, that's what type of rulership is going to be in the kingdom. That's what type of lifestyle they're going to be living. You know, that's going to be Esau's freedom, getting dashed to pieces. You know, breaking that spirit free from that wicked body they got. You know? You better not see them marching in the kingdom either. We want rights. Yeah, okay.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 14. And he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel, that is broken in pieces. He shall not.
He on it?
He's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a shard
Yep.
to take fire from the earth, or to take water without of the pit.
That's right, man. So basically going to destroy Esau from root to tutor. All right, going to do away with Esau. All right, next precept.
This Isaiah 60 and 12.
Yep.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Right, because that's what the Lord said. He said, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. And anybody that doesn't want to serve the Lord, he said, bring them hither before me and slay them. All right? So all these nations are going to bow down to our King, Yahushua. Even 2/3 of our people are going to bow down to him in the kingdom. All right, so let's get back to this point. So it says what? Revelation 12 and 5, and she brought forth a man-child, Yahushua, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. We just read that. And her child was caught up unto Yahweh and to his throne. What's that? Acts chapter what? Chapter 1?
Get it?
Babakusha? All right, so what child is that? All right, what child is that? We're going to get back to Herod too in a second.
All right, this is Acts chapter 1, verse 9.
Right, we were out here reading about Yahushua, you know, a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah who they killed. He's really dealing with them there.
All right, Acts chapter 1, verse 9, it says, and when he had spoken these things, they beheld, and he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
Right, you go ahead.
And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, two men by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing unto heaven? This same Yahushua,
bro, this same Yahushua, the same individual,
this same Yahushua, which is taken from you unto heaven, shall come so in like manner as you have seen him go unto heaven.
All right, man. What's that? What happened when they killed Stephen?
He saw the doors of heaven open.
Right. What's that? There you go. Acts chapter 7. Acts chapter 7,
verse 59
and 55.
It's Acts 7 and 55.
Right, this is talking about Stephen, when they killed Stephen. All right, some say Stephen, Stephen.
But he, being full of the Holy Ghost, looked up steadfastly unto heaven and saw the glory of Yahweh and Yahushua standing on the right hand of Yahweh.
See, so Yahushua was in the spirit realm. All right, he took that same body that he died in and was risen up again. He went up to the Father on the right-hand side. And Stephen even saw into the spirit realm before he died. All right, in the midst of dying. And he saw Yahushua on the right-hand side of the Father, man. He's still there to this day. All right?
And said, behold, I see heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Yahweh.
There you go.
Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears.
Right. They didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it.
And ran upon him with one accord and cast him out of the city and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their clothes at a young man's feet,
Paul,
whose name was Paul.
Yep. So this was when they stoned Stephen. So that's why you're not supposed to fear death, man. You never know what you're going to see at your death. You know, you might see into the spirit realm and see the Lord right there. You know? And that's just it, man. We live after these bodies, man. There's life after death. There's nothing to fear. Okay? So let's get back to this point. And Revelations 12:4, but then let's go back to Matthew. All right.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Ain't that something? We just read that. We're going to read it again. But yeah, Yahushua, his name means he deliverer. So the Most High loved us that much that he's going to deliver us. He sent Yahushua. All right? And we already conquered the flesh by believing in Yahushua. He didn't need to set up the kingdom back then. He established it spiritually. And he had to wait for the prophecies to play out, for Esau to rule, and for them to be judged in these last days, for the dragon to be on the earth. You know, the dragon being in NATO, the beast, it wasn't on the earth yet.
So his word will not come back to him void.
Yeah, that's right. And what else? America had to be on the scene. Babylon, the place of our judgment as a nation. You know, that had to be set in place. Okay? Go ahead.
This is the book of Amos 9:8. Behold, the eye of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashan, Yahweh Shai. Silakia. Amos 9:8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashan, Yahweh Shai, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, say the Lord, Yahweh Bahashan, Yahweh Shai.
So that's basically the Lord sending judgment on this place. And who's going to get caught up in that judgment? 2/3 of our people. All right. It said the eyes of the Lord, his prophets, the angels, Yahweh, all these eyes are upon this simple kingdom. Damn. And he's going to utterly destroy it off the face of the earth, saving that he's not going to utterly destroy the house of Jacob, man.
Right. Like you said earlier, it's some scary shit when somebody finds out they're being watched.
No, listen.
Yeah, they're being watched. And we out here telling them the Lord watching them.
Like, if you see how Stephen, when he was being stoned, changed, right? He was looking for deliverance and all that kind of stuff. But when he seen the heavens open and he seen Yahweh Shai, he said, oh Lord, well, check this out. Don't charge them for this, because he had this whole thought process changed. Because he seen at what moment, you don't know what the Lord might have been looking furious at what was going on at that moment. Yep. And he seen the eyes of the Lord, and he seen Yahweh Shai. All right, standing there right on the right hand side, he said, yo, Lord, don't charge us to them. All right, but understanding at that moment, it had to happen.
And he was basically casting coals of fire upon their head. By doing that. So, yep. The Lord still charges to him.
Yeah.
Charges to the game.
Yeah, charges to the game. Let's go to Matthew now.
All right, this is Matthew chapter 2 and verse 3.
Yep.
When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled.
Right, so he heard that Yahushua was about to be born, he got troubled. Just like we're telling the world that Yahushua is about to return, they're troubled, man. You know, especially when they see him show up. Revelations 1:7. 1:7, yeah. We're gonna get through it.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Woo! And they also which pierced him.
Right, so that's those are Jakes and those damn Romans that had something to do with Yahushua's death, man. All right, they had nothing to do with his life. All right, go ahead.
And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Wow. Even so, Amen.
There you go. So Esau gonna be one of them. All right, Esau gonna be one of those nations when they see Yahushua coming with the clouds, and they're gonna be troubled again. You know. Go ahead. I thought you were feeling the Holy Ghost.
All right, verse 3 again.
The Holy Ghost.
When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him.
That's right, man.
And when he had gathered all the chief.
Oh, and Jerusalem.
Yeah, and Jerusalem with him.
That's right. So you had wicked scribes and Pharisees that didn't want Yahushua to be born either. You see that? So they were troubled too. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
And we had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together. He demanded of them where the Mashiach should be born.
That's right.
And they said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not least among the princes of Judah.
So it said it was written up by the prophets. So he was born according to what? To the prophecies. All right. So he was born according to the prophets. It was written by the prophets that he was going to be born in Bethlehem in a manger. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of these shall come a governor that shall rule my people in Israel.
Because Bethlehem was like the projects. It was a poor area at that time in the Roman Empire. All right, it was like the ghetto. Go ahead. But that was really a spiritual place during the time of David and Solomon. But during the time of the Roman Empire, it was sort of like Moncrief, you know, or any Martin Luther King Boulevard. So you can say that, people know what I'm talking about.
like Nazareth and Yahushua.
Yeah.
Verse 7. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently.
Right. So Herod called all the wise men, and he inquired of them diligently. He was on top. He was on their top, trying to get answers out of them, like interrogating them. You know how Esau is in the interrogation room. Tell me what I want to know. I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Go ahead.
Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child. And we have found him. Bring me word again that I may come and worship him also.
Right. So Esau tried to what? Establish Judas right there, but he couldn't. What you call that? Like the movie Judas and the Black Messiah?
Yeah.
I was watching a movie the other day. What is that, man? They'll send somebody in just so they can establish, contact with you. You know, they be like, I saw the person. Oh, I was watching Enemy of the State.
Send informants in.
Yeah, they were sending informants. Yeah, just so they can say, all right, now let's follow him and see where he at and go kill him. Spies. But that ain't happened. You know, that didn't happen, man. The Most High stepped in. Go ahead.
Verse 9. When they had heard the king, they departed. And lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them.
Right, so that was a chariot. All right, that was a star. Okay? It looked like a star in the sky, and it started moving.
Till it came and stood over where the young child was.
Right, so this same chariot, this same star was moving, and then it stopped. All right? Right over the place where Yahushua was being born at. They would have never found him if it wasn't for that. There go your GPS right there. You think the Lord ain't gonna find us wherever we're at, where Esau tried to hide us and shit like that? The Lord said every hair in your head is numbered. You know?
Verse 10. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy.
That's right.
And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him.
That's right. You're going all the way to 13.
And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Right, because gold or frankincense and myrrh used to be more expensive than gold. And in some countries, it still is. Over there in India, they still selling myrrh and frankincense. But frankincense and myrrh was like gold back then. It was more expensive. So they brought that to Yahushua. All right.
Goods and spices and stuff. That was like lavish things back in the day, like salt, cinnamon.
That's right, man.
Go on.
They would give certain herbs. That's right, brother. Cumin.
Cayenne.
Yep. Go ahead, out.
Verse 12. And being warned of God in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed in their own country another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him.
Right. So why did he go into Egypt? Because we had people in Egypt. All right. You can read that in the book of Isaiah 11. He said we're going to be scattered throughout all Egypt. We had people everywhere. All right. So that's why they ran to Egypt. Go ahead.
Verse 14.
They didn't stay with no damn Africans.
When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt.
Yep.
And was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son.
There you go. So Herod died around 4 BC. All right. And then you had his son that started ruling. I forgot his son's name.
Was it Archelaus?
Yeah, there you go.
Herod. Oh, it was Herod Archelaus.
Herod Archelaus. There you go. I was say Achilles. All right. So yeah, he started ruling. So the Lord kept Yahushua safe, and then told Joseph and Mary to go ahead. So they stayed there until the death of Herod. Man, the Lord killed him. The Most High, the issues of death belong to the Most High. So the Lord timed that perfect. He said, "All right, Herod, your time is up." Got him out of there. All right. So
just like the symbolic of Second Ezra 6 and verse 8. All right, of Esau coming down. All right, in the hill, Jacob holding the hill of Esau. Man.
Right. That's right. And then the Lord gonna do away with America, Babylon, because there's not gonna be any need for it anymore. Our suffering and our bondage that we were made to serve here is gonna be done. And this place is not gonna be any need for it. The Lord gonna destroy it, wipe it out the map. He's gonna destroy it from out the face of the earth. All right. And then Esau, after 1,000 years, there's not gonna be any need for them. The Lord had them in power so they could put hell on us for being wicked. So now that the Lord he makes his men righteous, he's not gonna need Esau to put hell on us anymore, but he's still gonna need Esau to push out his righteous anger on. You know? So now after that's done, the Lord really gonna wipe them off the earth. After 1,000 years, there's not gonna be any need for them anymore. Just like you don't need a punching bag after a while, you know. So let's keep going. Where was that? Revelation 12 and 5.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 5.
Right, Isaiah 9, 6. Unless somebody already got it. Over to 8. Did we get that already? I think we got it. I didn't go to 8 though. No. All right, go ahead, brother.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 5. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to Yahweh and to his throne.
That's right, man. Hey, let's go. I'm gonna get something real quick dealing with the tail. Let's get James 1 and 12 real quick. We got that one? Okay, come. All right, yeah, we can move past that one. Let's go in
verse 6.
Isaiah 9 and 6 all the way to 8, and then 1 Samuel 23.
There's the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, starting at verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The seal of the Lord of hosts will perform this.
Wow, ain't that something? All right, there you go. So 1 Samuel 23 and 13, yeah. Verse 6 real quick.
It's verse 6 of chapter 12 of Revelation. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of Yahweh, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Right, and the reason you know that this woman is not talking about Mary, like they try to teach in church, because that woman is Israel. Somebody get that, like in the daughter of Zion? Calm and delicate woman.
Jeremiah 6 and 2.
Right. So that woman, it says, first it said in verse 5 that her child was caught up to the right hand of the Father. So they're not talking about Mary. All right. This is talking about after Yahushua got crucified. He was born and he got crucified in the Roman Empire. And then after that, the woman fled into the wilderness. All right. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 2. It says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman.
Right, man. So that's the woman that is talking about there, the servant, all right, of Yahushua, the woman, the bride. Now let's get that 1 Samuel 23, 13 all the way to 18.
All right, come on. This is the book of 1 Samuel. You said chapter.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Chapter
These
1.
Different ones. Yeah.
23.
Chapter 23, verse 13. Whoever get it first.
All right, this is 1 Samuel chapter 23, verse 13.
Yep.
It says, then David and his men, which were about 600, arose and departed out of, is that Keilah?
Yeah, 1 Samuel.
That word, is it Keilah? That K word?
We can skip over it. Let's go.
Come on. All right. It says
Kedar?
Keilah.
L-A-H. Keila? Yeah.
Come on. All right. This is 1 Samuel chapter 23, verse 13. Then David and his men, which were about 600, arose and departed out of Keila and went whithersoever they could go. And it was told Saul that David was escaped from Keila, and he forbore to go forth. And David abode in the wilderness in strongholds and remained in a mountain in the wilderness of Ziph.
Right. So the reason I want to get this, now when you read that verse again, right? You might have read a couple, like 2 more times maybe. Go ahead, brother. All right, because that gives you understanding on what he said, we fled into the wilderness. So in 70 AD, so after Yahushua was caught up to the heavens, in 70 AD, you had Titus and Vespasian that came in there and scattered us all around, all through Europe, Egypt, all over the damn place. All right, but that was prophecy because the same thing happened with David. He was fled into the wilderness. He was fled into the desert. But in that wilderness, meaning amongst these nations or going into secrecy, you know, basically not existent anymore, right? The children of Israel, we kind of was hidden. First we was teaching and prophesying everywhere, all over Rome. But next thing you know, after 70 AD, we just disappeared. That's like a desert almost, right? So while we're scattered in the desert or the wilderness, the Lord said, what the scripture said, Esau made the world a wilderness. So while we're scattered around this wilderness, the Lord is going to deal with us there. And that's beautiful, man, to be in that position, for the Lord to deal with us spiritually. You know, to what? Read that?
Ooh, I got you.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 6.
Right, and this is an example of David going through the same thing. The Lord always dealt with us that way, right?
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Yahweh, that they should feed her there 1,203 score days.
Right, that 1,203 score days, some say it's 1,000 years, some say it's 4 years, all right? But that feeding deals with nourishment, and we get nourished through the Spirit of the Lord, through the scriptures, all right? And the Lord said, where we're scattered at, we're going to be fed there, man. And that even shows more of his power. See that? Go ahead, brother.
This is Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, although I have cast them afar off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
Come on with it, man. All right. So the Lord said what? Romans 11. All right. So you think he did away with Israel, but that's not true. We still here. All right, according to prophecy, Ezekiel 37 had to happen. Revelations 11 had to happen, where his spirit entered into the hopeful elect. All right, what was that? Romans what? Yeah, Romans 11 and 1.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, that Yahweh cast away his people.
Right, did he cast us away? No, go ahead.
Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Yeah, keep going.
Yahweh hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew.
That's right. That's it. That's it. That's it. You know, the Lord didn't cast us away like Esau would think. You know what I mean? So if anything, he got closer to us. He's dealing with us on the inside now in the spirit. All right. So let's get back to that point. You read that already, 18?
Well, this is 1 Samuel chapter 23, picking up at verse 14.
Go ahead, brother.
It says, and David abode in the wilderness in strongholds and remained in a mountain in the wilderness of Ziph. And Saul sought him every day, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushua delivered him not into his hands.
See that? Just like Esau, he sought after Jacob. He sent out a flood after us, man, searching for us to kill us after 70 AD. All right, and we were scattered around. We had to hide amongst these nations, you know. But the Lord prepared safety for us amongst those nations. If not, we wouldn't be here today. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Over 18.
1 Samuel 23. It says, and David saw that Saul was come out to seek his life, and David was in the wilderness of Ziph in a wood.
Yeah, he was hiding in the woods. All right, he had to hide there. But go ahead, just like the brother read, Canuck read, the Lord gonna be at the little sanctuary to him there. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 16, and Jonathan, Saul's son, arose and went to David in the wood and strengthened his hand in the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And he said unto him, fear not, for the hand of Saul, my father, shall not find thee, and thou shalt be king over Israel, and I shall be next unto thee.
Right, man. And that was it on that?
One more verse.
Yep, so this was prophecy. And that happened. Just like the Lord saying today, when Esau coming rushing like a flood again, the Lord gonna raise up a standard. All right, and He's gonna raise up his men to sit on the throne. All right, and King David's gonna be one of them. You see that? Go ahead.
It says, and I shall be next unto thee, and that also Saul my father knoweth. Verse 18, and they too made a covenant before the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and David abode in the wood, and Jonathan went to his house.
That's it. Yeah, David stayed in the woods. He ain't never go back. You know, he went back, but you know, not you know. And just like us, we are in the wilderness. Somebody get that? Made the world a wilderness. Is this the man? Made the earth to tremble. That's right, man. So we're in this wilderness today. All right, and the Lord is with us. Made the world a wilderness.
Isaiah 14. Chapter 14 and verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, and that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the city thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners.
Right, he ain't opened the house of his prisoners, man. Instead, he enlarged his desires as hell. You know, and heaped unto himself all people. They ain't let us out. They kept us in prison. You know? So the Lord knows where we're at, anywhere on this earth, man. He knows them that are his. You know? And He's going to seek them out and be with them and find them. That's faith. That should boost your faith. Especially with the times we're coming into. How the Lord was with David. Now let's get another example. 2nd Ezra 13 and 43.
Quick reset.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew.
2nd Ezra 13, 43.
Chapter 24. I'm going to start at 25. It says, behold, I have told you before, wherefore if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Come on, you know, just like the elder was saying, man, hey, when that time comes, the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to get us from all around the four corners of the earth, man. You know, and you got some camps out here, oh yeah, man, go to the wilderness, all right? As we just read, Esau made the whole world a wilderness, okay? Right. So when you go to that word desert, all right, it goes right back to the word wilderness, man. So with that being said, hey, the Lord is in his secret chambers, man. You know, believe it not, don't go to the wilderness.
Right, that's a cut on people like Prophet. I can't even say his name now, but the FAG way. Let that sink in. FAG, yeah. So that was a prophet. That was a fake, false prophet that considered himself calling down chariots before.
Come on, when I was on that news station.
That news station, yeah. He was telling people to come out to the desert. He's gonna give him a colonoscopy. Yeah, he dead now though. Oh yeah, Lord destroyed him. Yeah, he was telling people to come out there and get a colonoscopy, whatever. He was gonna do it himself. Come to find out, he used to be go together, right? That's how it worked. But he was out in the desert in Vegas telling people like, "Yo, come on here."
It sound like GOCC.
GOCC? Him too?
Yes. And he had a history of going to wherever you went, and accepted money from people. All right, hirelings, man.
Right, GOCC. That's what we talking about.
Come on, HOI be on that too, man. Always going over to Jerusalem as of today, man. You know, going back over there to the so-called motherland, man.
All right, man. So and you got these people claiming to be the Lord. Look at Tazadak ass. Tazadaki, my bad. I'm gonna say Tazadaki, dumbass.
He got dog.
So the Lord destroyed him. Look, call himself the comforter. Now you got Yohanan calling himself the general. See that? All right, when Yahweh Shai is the general.
Yeah. Hey, shit, Nate the Snake. You know his congregation exalt him like he's the anointed one too as well. Look at him now.
Right, man.
Bad rest.
And America's nothing but a desert. All right. Let's keep. Yeah, talk about it, brother. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 43, right?
43 to 46.
43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. Woo. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
I'm talking about the northern kingdom. All right, and that's really happened around AD, like 300 AD, and they followed the top tribe, which would be the Ephraimites, all right, Puerto Ricans. They're the ones that led them over here to the Americas. All right, they didn't immediately come over here in 722 BC. All right, it took some time. You had a lot of northern tribes in the Roman Empire. All right, go ahead, brother.
Verse 45.
Yep, slide down something.
For through that country there was a great way to go.
Yep.
Namely of a year and a half.
Yep, that's how long it took to get over here with ships. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
Right, so that same region is called what? Arsareth. Why? He said what? Read that again. Revelation 12. We're gonna go back to this.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 6.
I'm gonna stop you at God.
Gone. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of Yahweh.
See, that's the point. That's the point. That place was prepared by the Most High. So you think he ain't got nothing prepared for us here?
In Shemayim?
And in the Shemayim, you know? He got everything waiting. He said the kingdom is already prepared. All right?
Oh, look at Joseph and Mary, man. When she was about to give birth to Yahweh.
The manger was already there. It was already prophesied about it. They already prophesied about the manger. Man, listen, we ain't got nothing to worry about, man. This is the Matrix, right? Most High controls it. Just like Professor Xavier on X-Men in the danger room. Go ahead, brother.
The 2nd Esdras chapter 2. And I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, "Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch." So, just like the elder said, man, hey, the kingdom is already prepared, man. So, hey, constantly endure to the end, all right? Hey, so therefore we can receive that reward at the end, man, which is the kingdom, man. You know, constantly press toward in that mark, you know. So, man, hey, that's why we got to constantly get out here and push, you know. Hey, constantly get out here and present our bodies as a living sacrifice. Hey, to lay down our life for a friend, man. What better thing is it to do, you know?
Right, where was that? You got it?
This is back at 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth.
There you go. That same region is called Arsareth, that they later called Amerigo, at the Amerigo Vespucci, or America. But that place called Arsareth, it just means what? Another place. That's what that word means. That word Arsareth means another place. And what did it say in Revelation 12 and 6? That he had a place prepared for us. All right, so we had to be scattered first, and then eventually we got brought over here to America. That was going to be the place of our the end of our judgment. All right. Go ahead.
That was the place with the ephod, had the measuring tool. That had the had us in there. It had the judgment in there. It had Esau in there, and it's a place where we're supposed to both the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom is gonna be live out captivity together.
Ooh, it say that. It say the northern damn. What it say? They were in bondage together. Yeah, the water. Yeah, I can't get the word right. Somebody know what that's at? They'll press together. That's right, man. All right. Oh man. Yeah, we know we're gonna keep going. Y'all all right with the cold? Huh? That's one. That's two. You said we out to. That means you cool.
Hey, my gray matter ain't built up that time.
Yeah.
This Jeremiah 16 and 15. When the brother looked for that one. It says, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands wherewith he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Right. So ultimately that land has to be cleansed as well, Jerusalem, just as America will be a memorial. All right?
Right.
But ultimately, the land of the north, man, where Israel and Judah and Israel is oppressed together, man. Judah representing the southern kingdom, the Jews, all right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. In the northern kingdom, all right, Ephraim on down, man. All right, where we go be together, mainly in the neck of our enemies here in the land of the north, North America.
All right, go ahead, bring it out.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 33.
Right.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. And all that took them.
That's just it. That's just what I was just speaking on. You got it out.
And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
All right, man. And you can read about that in Zechariah as well. It said the woman went into Shinar. You got it? At the bottom? No. Yeah, go ahead real quick.
This is Zechariah chapter 5. And I'm gonna start at verse 6.
Right.
It says, and I said, what is it? And he said, this is an ephah that go forth.
Right, an ephah is a measuring tool, all right, like a pot. Go ahead.
And he said, moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. And behold, there was a lift up, a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah.
Right, that woman that's sitting in the midst, the woman that's sitting in the midst of these heathens, especially over here in Babylon. This is the melting pot. That's what they call it, right? So that woman is Israel, where we was oppressed together at. All right, right here in Babylon. Go ahead.
Verse 8 of Zechariah 5. It said, and he said, this is the wickedness, and he cast it into the midst of the ephah.
Right, 2/3. Right, you got Heathen Esau here as well. Go ahead.
And he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof.
Right, and basically, what he said, he had the keys to death and hell. All right, he locked us here. Go ahead.
Verse 9, Zechariah 5. Then lift I up mine eyes, and look, and behold, there came out 2 women, and the wind was in their wings.
There you go. So they came out 2 women, and the wind was in their wings, right? That represents that swift delivery, how the Lord delivers us, all right, like an eagle.
With healing in his wings.
With healing in his wings, okay? So now, out of America, instead of just one, it's going to be what? 2. All right, the northern and the southern kingdom, the 2 witnesses. All right, we are pressed here together. Go ahead,
and this is speaking on that great deliverance. In Zechariah 2 and 8, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye. Right? So, hey, that's why the Lord is making inquisition, and he's going to be sent, all right, with the hosts, all right? He's going to wax strong with the hosts, all right, those armies, to deliver his people.
All right, man. All right, where we at? All right, what were we reading?
Revelation 12.
We're still doing that, right? Yeah, we're done with that. Go ahead, brother. Let's try. Let's see if we can get. We're talking about being fed in the wilderness. Go ahead, brother. Read that again.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of Yahweh, and they should feed her there 1,260 years.
Right. So the Lord took care of
days.
Now you got, but that's the Lord feeding us with His word, nourishing us, and taking care of us, man, and taking care of us as far as what? Food, everything. Even though the Lord said we got to go to Esau for the one of all things, but he set it up like this, you know? All right, and where is that? Let's get Psalms 90 and 1. Exodus 16 and 5, 15 I mean. Psalms 90 and 1. Let's deal with this, man, where we're being fed. He said he's going to feed us there.
All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 1. Lord, thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations, before the mountains were brought forth.
That's right.
Or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art Yahweh.
That's right. So everlasting to everlasting, the Most High is always our dwelling place. So if we get cast out of our land, we're still dwelling under Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right? So we get cast into the wilderness. The Lord is always our dwelling place. That's what the Lord is showing us. That's why he cast us off as a nation and had us scattered around the world, because he's showing us that he's our dwelling place. He's our tabernacle, our high tower. All right? Somebody will get that, the high tower? Yep. Go ahead, bro.
It's the book of St. Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 31. Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed?
Right, damn doomsday preppers. Go ahead.
For after all these things that the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Ain't that beautiful, man? All right, the Most High controls everything. You know, he said, yo, Yahweh said it in the scripture. He said, yo, how can you feed me? He said, he the one created the cattle. He know where everything is at. So he's able to take care of us, man. All right, and we just got to have faith in that. You know what I mean? That's right, man. He said the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, that's his name, the Heavenly Father, a so-called black man, dark skin. You know, that's important to know. And he said what? He knows that you have need of these things. So he knows what we need. All right, he's not gonna put more on us than we can bear. All right, even as a nation. Go ahead, brother. Launch it off. Let's get it. Keep that momentum going, y'all.
This is Proverbs 18 and 10.
Yep.
The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
That's right. So that's why it's important for you to know his name. I-U-I-C. It's important, man, because without that, we have no covering. Okay, so you got the Most High's name, but the Most High ain't dealing with us straight on anymore. We got to go through Yahushua. So you got to know Yahushua's name. He is the way, the truth, and the life, the way back to the Father. Our true covering, you know, not this damn place, Babylon. All right? So that's right, man. So his name is our strong tower, right? And we're going to run into that and be safe.
That goes back to the point that the elder just made, that even though we're cast out of our land, the Lord is our tabernacle and our dwelling place. Man. Hey, read the next scripture on that. Because the next scripture says, read that real quick.
This is Proverbs 18:11. The rich man's wealth is his strong city.
Well, the rich man's wealth is his strong city. What is that strong city? America. What happens when America is destroyed? Their wealth is gone right along with it. That's in Revelations. All the merchants shall weep and howl for misery because this place is being destroyed. All right, so now what do they have beyond that? If America's destroyed, they have nothing. Even though our land is being defiled right now, we still have hope in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. These other nations Esau don't have nothing. So their wealth is their strong city. But our strong city is the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
That's right. That's why I said these things the Gentiles seek after. Carnal shit.
Because even though Jerusalem, Israel over there, the land itself is destroyed, Israel, the people, are still rising up. Still have strength within them.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms 144 and 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teaches my hands to war and my fingers to fight, my goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer.
Come on, man.
My shield, and he is whom I trust, who shall do it, my people under me.
That's right. So that's why the Lord said that. Who or what can separate us from the love of the Most High? All right. His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You know? So he knows exactly where we at, man. I always think about this and it always humbles me. I was thinking about it last night. I'm like walking around doing shit in the kitchen And the next thing you know, I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, the earth used to be void and just dark. And now I'm walking around this fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that shit can end so quick. It's just like the Lord said we live our lives like a dream. Or like a story that is told. I'm just like, yo, it's just so ghostly almost. You know what I mean? Seeing the doors move because you touched it. That's just showing that you exist right there. It's just, you know, you take a step in the mud, now you see a footprint. It's just like, I don't know, it's just a humbling thought, man. That's all. Yeah, it's just a humbling thought, man. Make you really appreciate it. And
understand how blessed we are to know Yahweh while Yahweh shine.
Yeah, man. Want to stay busy. Get the work done. You know, and live out your destiny.
Yeah, brother. This Romans 1:20. For the invincible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither they were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart were darkened.
You can speak on it?
Hey, so the people don't even know why they are able to go forth throughout the four corners of the earth, and why they exist, you know, and that even though they may think there is a God, they don't know and worship the true God, man. You know, and just like the other was speaking on, man, just the things that you appreciate knowing Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, hey, everybody is gonna be accounted for everything that they've done in their body, man. You know, and you're gonna be left without excuse, ultimately. You're not gonna be able to say that you didn't know, you know, or you didn't have a chance to know, because the truth is out here, man. Matthew 24:14, this gospel of truth is gonna be preached throughout the four corners, and then the end shall come. You know? And it's verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to the reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, right? So he chose their delusions, you know, and they just
fitted for destruction.
And they're just walking around spiritually dead, you know, not knowing that the true power that created heaven and earth exists, and that he's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. All right, he dwells with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and nothing else.
Wow, man.
And even when they do know, they will rather cast it aside.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of Yahweh and cannot out of the good things that are seen know him that is.
Right. That's science. You can't use science to try to find the Lord.
They trying to.
That's science. Science is studying the things that move. So they look at a tree, look at this, you know, like India Ari said, you are. Thank you, bro. Like he said, the earth, air, water, fire, gray skies, and gray showers. That's how I know that God is real. You know, it's in our spirit, man. We know the Lord exists. Like George Washington Carver, he said the reason he started getting into the Bible and he got into the peanut is because he went into by a river one day and he saw a park, a little area like this, and he said something stopped him, and he had a different mindset because he looked at it like somebody was there before him and they neatened it up because they knew they were gonna have guests. That's how he looked at the earth. You know what I mean? But Esau looked at the earth like, okay, I can get riches off of this. We're gonna tear that tree down. Oh, look, a human. We're gonna tear him down. What's that stuff growing? That green stuff. We gotta get rid of that. And get some hard concrete there. Yeah, Esau, they just want to destroy shit.
So all that grass is, let's go ahead and put some rocks.
Right, and then and George Washington Carver prayed to the Lord to give him a reason and a purpose. And the Lord, he said the Lord gave him the peanut. And he said, this is what I gave you. And he said, why would you give me this? This is George Washington Carver words. And he said, because I gave you the smallest thing that you can do everything with. So he gave him the peanut. And through the peanut is still in every item that you use today. There's a tiny bit of peanut in there. All because of George Washington Carver. A Jake. They made soap. Every item that we got on our shelves, cosmetics, it got a tiny grain. That way, say it's made with peanuts. Made, you know, all that. All right. So all of that from a peanut, a small thing, just like this. Small. He say faith is small as a mustard seed. We can move mountains. All right. My bad. Go ahead, brother. You have off?
Yeah, I've been holding this. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah 17, verse 13 and 14. Yep. The nation should rush like the rushing of many waters, but Yahweh Shai should revoke them, and they should flee far off, and should be chased as the chaff of the mountain before the wind, and like a ruling thing before the whirlwind.
That's right, man.
And behold, at evening tide trouble, and before the morning, he's not.
That's right.
This is the portion of that spoiled us, and the lot of that robbed us.
Yeah, it's a lot of points in there. He said before the morning. So that means before the kingdom, he's going to be destroyed. All right? Before we get into our kingdom, before we get into Yahweh Shai's kingdom, Yahweh Ratazah, he's going to destroy Esau on this side. All right? Before morning. All right? He said when they come and rush it like a flood, they're going to be scattered and chased away by those angels, by the missiles, by the Lord's judgment, and by Yahweh Shai himself. And the elect. All right, so they're going to be chased away like a dream in the night. They came after us as a flood before, and they prevailed against us. All right, they chased us away in 70 AD. We had a falling away. They prevailed against us, but this time they will not prevail when they come in rushing like a flood again. All right, so let's get back to that. Where was that? Second Ezra? We already read that. Let's get
same as no death by pain. What you want?
Benefits not knowing me?
Yeah.
Nah, we good. Right? Let's get back to verse 7. I'm going to stop it there, but we can keep going. Good? Keep going?
Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. And there was war in heaven.
So there's going to be war in heaven. See, Revelations bounces around. All right, Revelation 1, Babakashah, 1 and 1. All right? So yeah, man, Revelation bounces around. So now he's talking about after the child is born, getting caught up to the father, right? The woman being persecuted, all right? First the child was persecuted, and then the woman was persecuted, being Israel. So now, after that, they're going to be war in heaven. What's that? That's talking about in these times, all right? And just like there was war in heaven around 70 AD. The angels was protecting us. The Lord raised up Michael back then. Just like in 168 BC. During the rededication of the temple, the Lord raised up the angels. Just like during the time of Egypt, the Lord raised up the angels. All right? Because in 70 AD, the Lord told some of his elect, he told them to flee into the Judean hills. And it took the angels to set up everything and keep them Edomites off our ass. All right? So anytime the Lord deals with deliverance of our nation, he sends in the angels to deliver us. Let's get an example of that. He said there was war in heaven, right? And what that means is those angels were preparing for war against these damn Edomites. All right? And it's talking about fighting against their damn space force. All right? So when they see Yahweh Shai and the angels showing up preparing for war, Esau going to prepare for war too.
All right? That video you did that showed that chariot, like,
yeah, back it up. Man, yeah, that's some scary stuff, man. If I was an Edomite.
Okay, all right.
That's right. What was that? Somebody got that Revelation 1 and 1?
Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servant the things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Right, man. Yeah, that's cool, man. He took the sound down and everything.
Yeah.
That was it right there. So he sent and signified it by his servant John, man. Everything that was shortly about to come to pass. All right, surely going to come to pass. Shortly, my bad. All right? So this war in heaven is about to happen. You see them talking about a space force. They set up the Navy and parts of the Air Force to lead, or really the Navy, to lead the Space Force, set up by Donald Trump. All right? Huh?
The Air Force. They made it the sixth branch of the military.
Yeah, no, they using part of the Navy. Yeah, and they set it up, basically, started with the Navy. And the reason they're using the Navy to start it off is because of the Shemayim, the waters. All right, and they're dealing with maritime law again. All right, the law of the waters. And they said that is a domain for war. That was said by, what's his name? The vice president last year. Let me come here. Pence. You can look it up and quote the words. He said space is now a domain for war.
Con, if I may add on, because last year when Donald Trump was in office, they tried to get a treaty agreement going on basically with Russia and China, basically not to weaponize space, man. But China and Russia didn't want to do that. Why? Because they were trying to set up, they were trying to weaponize it, man. So with that being said, hey, that's why you got all the rhetoric going on now, man. You know, hence as we talk about war in heaven, man. You know, they're trying to get it cracking.
That's right, brother. All right, we're going to speed through some of these. Let's keep going.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 7.
Right, 2 Maccabees 5, real quick. My bad.
Are you good?
Again, 2 Maccabees 5, man, because it's going to be war in heaven, just like Antiochus was scared as hell when he saw them preparing for war.
5:1.
5:1, yeah. And then Daniel 12. Daniel 12:1. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 5, verse 1.
Yep.
About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt.
Right, because he went into Egypt once to try to take Egypt from Ptolemy the Eighth, I think it was. He wanted to take Egypt and all the provinces that were under Egypt, and then he went back in 169 BC. He went there, and then 168 he went back again. All right, and along that way he went after Jerusalem as well. Okay. And that's when he came and desecrated the temples. So this was around 168 BC. Go ahead.
And then it happened that through all the city, for the space almost 40 days.
40 days, man. That's like a month and some change. They were seeing this. Go ahead.
They were seeing horsemen running in the air in cloth of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers.
Wow, man. Yeah, they was in war gear. All right, and when the Lord sends His angels, they preparing for war. They wasn't sitting there like happy-go-lucky, listening to music. No, they preparing for war, like yelling and everything, doing war. What do you call that? War drills. Yeah, that's what they do, right? The war drills. Yeah, military drills. That's what it was. It was a military drill, and they were shooting at each other. The chariots. The chariots were shooting at each other to show that they're going to go to war with Antiochus and fight against them. All right, go ahead.
And troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another with skating of shields.
See that? We're shaking of shields, man. Go ahead.
And another, and multitude of pikes.
Yeah, so they had a multitude of pikes. I don't even know what a pike is. It sounds like
a spear.
A spear. Go ahead.
And drawing of swords, and casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments.
Right, man. So they were casting darts, shooting darts, shooting lasers off. Right? Shooting them back and forth. That's a war drill. Go ahead.
And harness of all sorts.
Right, so they had harness of all sorts, man. That's the angels, man. And that's who Esau was about to see. This running road right here, frolicking up the block. All right, that was it on that, I think. Yeah, that's the point. So now let's get back to it. War in heaven? No, Daniel 12. So it's gonna happen again. The Lord gonna send His angels again, man. And you best believe Michael was there. Yahweh shall always send Michael down, man. Just like He dealt with Cyrus the Great before.
This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even the same time.
Right, man. So that's talking about now, man. So the Lord gonna raise up Michael, the angel Michael, and He's gonna stand up for the children of Israel. All right, by the orders of Yahushua, and they're gonna give orders to their other angels. It's gonna be thousands of angels here protecting the elect, according to Psalms 91. He gonna give His angels charge. Go ahead.
And it says,
somebody grab that. Psalm 91. Go ahead. Oh, that was it.
No, that was it. It says, and that time the people shall be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book.
That's right. So that's how you know it wasn't talking about. So he's gonna send the angel Michael to stand up for us. And at that time, everyone shall be delivered whose name is written in the book of life, man. In Yahweh's book, the Lamb book of life. And that's what we want our name to be written in the Lamb's book of life. Not just worrying about the nations going into slavery, because we can die and be 2/3 and come back on the earth and the nation's still gonna serve us. So we want deliverance, and we want our name to be written in the book of life. To enter into the kingdom, to be forgiven by the Most High, to be able to stand in his presence in a physical body and not die. All right, go ahead, Doc.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6 and verse 16. And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
Man, go ahead.
And that's just speaking on Elisha, all right, going against basically the false prophets, man. When you go into the spiritual things, it's more of the spiritual things that exist, divine intervention things that come into play, than it is the what you would deem reality.
That's right, brother. Damn. That's right, because the soldier was scared. He said, yo, can you open his eyes and let him see? You know? He said, can you let him see? And he looked up and he saw that it was a band of angels around him. The same horsemen. You know, horsemen riding upon what? A horse, which would be a chariot. Horse deal with power. All right? Where we at? Psalm 91. You want angels charge over there? Yeah, come on.
Psalms 91, verse 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
There you go, man. So the Lord is going to give his angels. See, not just Michael. It's going to be angels, plural. He's going to give them angels charge over thee to keep you in all thy ways, man. All right. So yeah, man, and that you don't dash your foot against a stone, that means you're not gonna fall. Twofold, while you're on the earth and in them chariots, you're gonna trust in his, go to verse 1.
Verse 1?
Yep.
This is Psalms 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Right, so that secret place where we're being nourished at, meaning in this truth. And we're gonna abide under the shadow, meaning the covering and the protection of Yahweh. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Not under the shadow of Egypt.
I will say of the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, he is my refuge.
Right, that's what we're saying now. The Lord is our house and our protection even while we're in the wilderness. Go ahead.
And my fortress, my God, in him will I trust.
Yep, keep going.
Surely shall he deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
So the Lord going to deliver his elect, his church, his woman, from the trap that Esau has set for us, man. And all the weapons that they forming against us are not going to prosper. And he said, what? And from the noisome pestilence, okay? From the missiles. Okay, so you got the time of Jacob's trouble, then you got the destruction. So the Lord going to deliver the elect from all of that. Go ahead.
Verse 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers.
Right, his feathers represents angels. Go ahead.
Under his wings shalt thou trust.
See, under his wings, you're going to trust. Right, you're going to trust that protection. You're going to trust when they bear you up in their hands. Go ahead.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
That's right, man. So that's it. Right, he said they're going to bear thee up in their hands, man. And you're going to trust that you ain't going to fall and hit that ground. Can you imagine going up to a chariot? And you look down, and you see the destruction, and you're going to trust that they got you. You're going to come right, price, you're going to let go and get changed, man. You know? Twinkling of an eye. So, let's get back. Verse 7.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 7.
Right.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was there a place found any more in heaven.
Right, so there's not going to be any place for Esau and rulership anymore. You know, being exalted. All right? So, that's right. They're not going to be exalted anymore, and they're going to be brought down to the ground, and they're going into slavery now. How about them apples? Yes, yeah. So it's their time for slavery, and they don't even know it, that the Lord is a black man, a so-called black man. So, yeah, Oh no, I kind of want to keep going. Let's keep going, y'all.
Hold on.
All right, let's keep going.
Verse 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna just speak through these.
Go on. Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan.
So Lucifer falling like lightning to the earth? That's right, man. All right, so he said what? So that dragon was cast out, right?
That old serpent.
That old serpent. So when it say the serpent, and it say the dragon, now we know who the dragon is. We know that's the Roman Empire with Herod, with like iron, the 10 heads, you know, the 10 toes comparison. All right, and the 10 horns. So we know that's the Roman Empire. That's so he said they the serpent. Go ahead, Doc.
That old serpent.
That old serpent going all the way back to the garden. Go ahead.
That old serpent called the devil and Satan.
So that's the devil and Satan. That's what we call these people the devil. The deceivers and Satan, meaning the adversaries to truth. All right. So these are the adversaries. These are our enemy. Just like it said Jacob and Esau. All right. Go ahead.
Deceive our people to deceive us.
That's right, man. Go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 10, verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fell from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you.
Man. He said he give us power to tread upon serpents, man. And what was the other words?
Scorpions.
Man, scorpion. There was another one before that. He said Satan.
Satan.
That's right, man. So he gave us power to tread upon them, man. All right, that's right, and and we're treading upon them in the spirit first. All right, and spiritually we're gonna tread upon them. The Lord said we're gonna wash our feet in the blood of the wicked. Well, you can't imagine what that means.
Red bottoms.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12.
Red bottoms. I got you.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
That's right, man. So they're gonna be cut down to the ground. All right, that's why you're gonna tread upon. You know that the ones that did weaken the nations, man. All right, it said. Made the world a wilderness. All the way to verse 16. Yep.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Right, they're gonna say this is just a man. He thought himself to be God. Go ahead.
That did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, destroyed the cities thereof,
That's
and
right.
opened not the house of his prisoners.
Right, man. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this color purple ass motherfucker.
Kingdom ain't gonna be like that.
Yeah. All right, so there, man. So Esau made the world a wilderness, man. All right, a desert where no water is, where no righteousness is. None, man. But then Yahushua brought the water in the weary land, and that was us. We were dry, and the Lord gave us water. You know, so now He's nourishing us in the wilderness.
This is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of scriptures might have hope.
That's right, man. Wait, you want to speak on it? All right. So yeah, man, that's it. That speaks for itself. You know, we through comfort and patience of the scriptures might have hope, and now He gave us hope in a weary land. Where we're spread in captivity, where there's no hope. We were without Yahushua, and now He's giving us hope in this place, man. All right. Verse 10, Revelation 12.
Come on. Verse 10. I'm gonna read the rest of verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
There you go. So the angels going to be cast out with him. All their military, space force, air force, you know, whatever. Their drones, and that's part of their force too. You know, their messengers, their angels. They're all going to be cast out, man. And their politicians, their governments, You know, the CIA, the SPA, the NSA, the FBI, the bank. These are all their angels as well.
They ASS?
All of that. All of that. You know, it's always going to be cast down to the ground, man. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now was come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Mashiach, or his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Is that not Esau calling us criminals? Calling us everything but a child of God, man. You know, putting pork in our foods, in our vitamins, pushing that shit all over the radio, you know, giving them incentives to be wicked. You know, record deals and all kind of shit. And then they sit back and say, look at you. Look at you, you know. Oh, go ahead, bro.
This Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. The shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
That's right, man.
All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we have not offended, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord of hope, of the power of their fathers.
Right, man. That's right. That's right. And they know that. So they play off of that. You know? They play off of that. And they even built the whole system and made billions off of that. They say, oh, they sinning. Let's make some money off of that, off of pork. Let's make some money off of lobster, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Let's make it look like a cuisine.
A delicacy.
A delicacy, man. And then they sit back and say, hey, look at this black man calling you void. Jigaboo, Spick, all these different names.
Got our people fighting the sin.
Right, man. All right? And then they go home and try to pray to the Lord against you.
And look at us like we the sinful ones.
Right.
And that's that spiritual war though. And that perpetual hatred Esau got to try to fight for that birthright back.
That's it. They want that birthright back, man. That's right, man. They don't think Jacob deserved the birthright. Go ahead.
Hey, if the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh see us delicate and comely women, Esau's a goddamn raging bull, boy.
That's right, man.
You know what I'm saying?
So regular woman. And look what America doing with Russia right now. They're demonizing it. We're getting to see the hand, the silent hand at work. The hidden hand, man. The Illuminati, how they work. They're coming up with their agenda, the false flags and shit. Demonizing Russia before they go after them.
Hey, the video you uploaded this morning, it's like no more lies can be told from this nation because the Lord has exposed them, man. He lifted up the skirt of this
Lifting up a skirt, man.
You know? So it's all coming back to bite them in their ass, man.
That's right, man.
So even their own people, their tongue shall fall upon themselves.
Right.
They own people question them like, all right, so what's going on? This happened. September 11th happened.
Yep, yeah, man. And they love demonizing somebody. They've been demonizing us. Look what they said about the Gadites. When they came over here, or the northern tribes, not just the Gad, but they called them savages. Yep. They're savages, man. They walk around with no clothes. They eat each other. When they was the one eating people. Look at McDonald's. Go ahead, bro.
At the Temuco Forest, when we sometimes go out there and teach on the plaque, they called them savages because what they did to the French settlers that came over here the second time after they didn't defend themselves the first time.
Right, man.
So they called them savages because the amount of the French and Spanish settlers that they slaughtered out of getting some get back for what when they had open arms to them the first time.
Right, and that Temuco means enemy. That's what they named them, enemy. That's not even the name of those northern tribes. They called them the enemy, Temuco. You know? Shit, look what they did to so-called black people, call them black.
Yeah, and they love it.
You know what I mean? They called us Africans and shit. You know, so yeah, let's go ahead and let's finish this lesson out.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. It says, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Man, that's what we've been speaking about. That's what Esau did, man. Basically, you know, with this whole system set up, that's are set up to go against us, not for us to excel, but us to keep us down, man. Hey, but yet they have a damn liquor store in every neighborhood, you know, a whorehouse in every neighborhood, not talking about a prostitute, but the church, as they call it, man. Hey, man, hey, this is all the same setup, you know, hey, like the brother said too, hey, what they did in slavery, they'll make us fight, and then the winner will get a reward and have a beer, a strong drink, whatever the case may be, man. Same thing. Yeah, kind, man. So hey, same setup, man. You know, and they look at us, look upon our nakedness as with that too.
That's right. There's a precept. Y'all can speak on it real quick. Obadiah 1 and 5. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
Boom, and what does it say in was it 2 Maccabees 2 and 10? All nations had their part in the spoiling of the nation of Israel. So it's judgment unto all these nations. It's just that Esau is the top nation that's going to get the most judgment and not going to get any sort of form of mercy.
That's right. It says what? Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
And this devil looks at us as a nobody, so he doesn't feel any shame behind what he does to us. But when the Lord shows up, that's when the shame gonna cover him. Right. That's when he gonna feel that shame. Because right now, he has all these other nations looking out upon us as we're nothing. A clip that was that I shared on Facebook when Jake was over there fighting the Vietnam War. As soon as they get over there, Vietnamese calling them niggas and all that stuff. And they were like, where did they learn that from? They didn't hate us at first until they got here and trained them on how to look at us like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, right, the government of Israel, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
That's just like you see your adult drinking something. You like, let me get something. I'll give you a swallow. Lord gave us a swallow. Yeah. All right. But look, they got to drink the whole cup. Yeah. Esau got to drink the whole cup. Matter of fact, he gonna open their mouth like how they used to force feed us, knock out our front teeth.
Boy, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I would love to have them be hungry for like a week and then leave nothing but a pig there. Go ahead. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I'm gonna be like right here with the sword. Like I think you could.
Hey, I might even be so nasty. You know how they be roasting pigs on the ground and shit? Yeah. Have that bitch roasted, dig that hoe up. Let that bitch just sit there and simmer. Like how they did when we was in Masada, the hill of Masada. How we ran out of food and all that other kind of shit. Hell yeah. And they had all that stuff burning on the outside and we had no food inside, torturing us like that.
Yep. Keep them in sin. We're gonna be sicking demons on them. We're gonna have control of them. We're gonna have, Lord willing, we have the elect, but the elect are gonna be controlling the spirits on the left hand side too. You know, they're gonna be controlling them just like Paul would cast a demon on somebody. We're gonna be able to do that. Have demons jump on them and shit. And have them go off. Have them be tormented. You know what I'm saying? So that's right. He said what? Verse 17. But upon my Mount Zion, that's his holy hill, holy mountain, shall be deliverance. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh have spoken it. So, all right, so that's the end result of this dragon. You know, Edom, and even Herod, he's gonna be wiped off the earth. He probably back here today to get his judgment. You know, if not, we're gonna be in the kingdom getting judgment, because the Lord said we're gonna be casting out judgment. All right, what's that in Psalms where it say two-edged sword in the hand, wake up on the bed? That's right, man. Let's get that real quick, and we're gonna finish this up.
Team back. Team in Malone.
Where?
Team in Malone. He got the spirit of Haman on him. Okay.
Oh shit. Yeah, possibly him. Yeah, man, that dude there. All right, let me know y'all got it, somebody. Psalms 149 and 6. Okay, Psalms 149 and 6. Whoever get there first, man. As soon as you can, as soon as you can.
Going to Psalms, chapter 149. We start from verse 5.
Yep.
It said, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Right, He's going to let you fully enjoy it. You ain't going to have to act all shy and timid. The Lord going to say, nah, enjoy it, man. You perfect. You know, we ain't going to have no type of sin anymore. We're going to be able to hold our head up high and really feel joy and no shame at all. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Let the high praises of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua be in their mouth and the two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
Man.
To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
That's probably gonna be the best sound in the, we say jingle bells. walking around with the chains and shit, like Candyman.
So when you ain't gonna have to call us 3 times.
Nah, I'm right there. Right there, wait, bro. Yep. That was it.
Verse 9 of 149. Psalms 149. It says to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
That's right, we just read it. We just read it in Obadiah. The Most High said it. Jacob and Israel gonna be for what? Fire, and Esau gonna be for stubble. And the cup gonna pass through them. All right, so that's the judgment's written, you know? So now let's get back to Revelations real quick.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 11.
Yep.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
Right, so we're going to overcome these devils by the blood of Yahushua. All right? And that's through what? They're pushing that MOTB. All right? Through the blood of Yahushua being covered, you're going to overcome these lies that Esau is pushing out there. Go ahead, brother.
And by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto death.
Right, so it's about the word of your testimony. So the Lord said, every idle word that men shall speak, they're going to give account for in the day of judgment. So it's all about your testimony. And you better be testifying the correct way. You got some of these camps out here giving off the wrong vibration, and they're not warning the people to prepare them for the battle. They're not going. The ones that's following them not going to be able to stand or overcome. You see that? Go ahead, Art. Oh, go ahead, definitely.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30. And I'm going to start at verse 5. Every word of the Most High is pure.
Oh, God.
He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar.
Wow, God, you got to speak on that.
Con, and I just brought that out to back up the elder, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like he was speaking on these other alphabet counts that like to sleep upon their beds and make up doctrine when they wake up.
Damn,
and also, you know what I'm saying, us, you know, that's in the fold, all we have to do is keep that doctrine, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep Yahweh Bashem Yahushua wholesome words, you know what I'm saying, in the volume of the book.
That's right, man. He said, love not your life unto death, man.
Fine.
You know? So that comes with what? Presenting your body as a living sacrifice. You know? So, yeah, man. Let's keep going. Great point, brother.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Right, so who's dwelling in the heavens? All right, the angels and the elect. That's where your mind should be at. Somebody get Philippians 3:20. So he said, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. All right, so the elect are dwelling in heaven right now. All right, spiritually speaking. Yep, Philippians 3:20.
It's the book of Philippians, chapter 3, and verse 20.
That's right.
For our conversation is in heaven.
Whoa, our conversation is in heaven. You see that? So we're the ones that dwell in heaven. Go ahead.
From whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahweh Mashiach, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body.
Right, so he's going to change our vile bodies. It's going to be fashioned like his glorious body, all right? So he can do that either way, give us new bodies or change these. Go ahead.
According to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself.
Right, so that way he's able to subdue all things unto himself. So yeah, man. All right, so our conversation is in heaven. All right. So go ahead. Rejoice, ye heavens.
Gone. Therefore, Revelation 12:12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitor.
And he said those that dwell in the secret place of the Most High. All right, go ahead.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time.
Right, because that's why he's coming down with great wrath, and we haven't seen it yet. It's building up to it. You can see him kind of setting everything in place, getting the table. The table is set. Now they're about to eat. But the Lord said when they go to eat, to devour, that's when the Lord gonna rain fire upon them. All right, when they go to fill their belly. Okay, so that's right. Keep going to 13. So they got a short time, man. The scriptures say Esau was loose for a little season. They got a short time, especially we seeing the prophecies come to pass. We know that the end is like right there, man. All right, they got a short time. You always seen everything being squeezed. They're getting time limits. They got to do this before the ice hardens up. They got to do this after the Olympics. They got to do this before Russia gets over to Ukraine. They got to do this before China and Russia start their new world order with the banking system. So they got to start something with the SDRs beforehand. So they got to crash the American economy. So everything gonna happen according to the Lord's plan. All right, go ahead.
Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast out unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
Right, so when were they cast out to the earth? They were cast down to the earth back during the time of Yahushua. All right, they were carnal. But they were the ones that dwell, the inhabitants of the earth. See, us, we dwell with the heavens. Our conversation's in the heavens. All right, so Esau, he said, on thy belly shalt thou go. Right? Carnal ass Esau. But it says, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child, man. So he persecuted the woman now, not just chasing after the child. Because Yahushua was on the right hand of the Father, so now he's persecuting us. How did they do that? Slavery. All right? Yep. Oh, well, actually, no, Salakia, 70 AD. All right? And then it led up to this. Okay, 70 AD, they persecuted us. Titus and Vespasian. And then, right here, man, it was called the Jewish-Roman Wars. All right? And it led up to this, which was slavery. All right, go ahead, the water, brother.
Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly, Salakia, that she might flee into the wilderness and to her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent.
Right, so that just means for a short season, all right? So we're going to be nourished here, nourished in the scriptures, but now it's speaking about that same place, being Arsareth or America, but now the place that was prepared by the Most High, he also gave us wings of an eagle to fly into that place. You see that? So let's get that, let's focus on that. Somebody get Exodus 19:3. All right, so the same deliverance we had coming out of Egypt, the Lord he protected the anointed ones during 70 AD. All right, and just like now, he's going to deliver the children of Israel on wings as well, the wings of the wind.
This is Exodus.
Oh, okay, you got my back.
Chapter 19, verse 3.
32.
It says, and Moses went up unto Yahweh.
Yahushua, but
Yahushua.
No, you good. It was Yahweh, but you know.
Okay. Well, and Moses went up unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, thus.
Right, that was Yahushua they're talking to him. Okay, go ahead.
Saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel.
Yep, go ahead.
Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians.
Right, we've seen it. That's what we tell our people today. We have seen what the Lord did to the Egyptians, the Africans. Go ahead.
And how I bear you on eagle's wings.
Whoa, there go the eagle's wings again. So the Lord buried us on eagle's wings, meaning he protected us swiftly. Go ahead.
It says, and brought you unto myself.
See that? So he brought us out of Egypt quick, all right, and protected us like eagle's wings, right, and brought us into the wilderness with him, all right, to deal with him for the Passover. Go ahead.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
All right, man. All right, so now we're like that treasure that the Lord is seeking out, man. You know, a treasure hunter. And now with that treasure, we become the jewels. And the Lord said he's making up his jewels now, and he's going to search us out and gather us. All right? So go ahead. That was it? He said from all the places he scattered us.
For all the earth is mine.
That's right. So anywhere we go, this is the Lord's earth. You got to know that. That's why I always tell somebody being homeless. I was homeless before. I always had that mindset that this is the Father's house, man. This is a footstool.
Gone.
All right? The whole earth is his, man. You know? So he buried us on eagle's wings and brought us out of Egypt swiftly, the same way he took us into the wilderness and he had a place prepared for us there, meaning we will be taken care of, all right, in safety. All right? But the ones that went to the right, you had some that went to the Judean hills, like Yahushua said, and then the other assholes, they went towards, what was that called? Masada. And guess who that was? The ones that went to Masada and did a suicide pact and killed their damn self. That was Sakari. All right? They're the ones that went the opposite way. Go figure. I can see Zalazar, silly ass, and the other guy with the baseball cap and the bulletproof vest walking they silly asses toward Masada. Talking about how grimy they are.
Go to the 4.
Right, Deuteronomy 32 and 9. Real quick, I just need to real fast. The swift wings.
All right, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 9.
Yep.
For the Lord's portion is his people.
Right, so the Lord's portion is his people. That's all he's worrying about. Go ahead, brother.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Yep.
He found him in a desert land.
So he found us what? In the desert land. All right, just like today, America is the desert land. Just like in 70 AD, we were scattered into the desert, which means the whole world, all right, into non-existence almost. Go ahead.
He found him in a desert land, in the waste, howling wilderness.
Oh, in the waste what?
Howling wilderness.
In the waste, howling wilderness, man. So we're in this wilderness today, and the Lord going to find us. All right, go ahead.
He led him about. He instructed him.
So he led us. He led us about, and he instructed us. That's the eagle's wing that the Lord was talking about. He led us out of Egypt swiftly. Go ahead.
He kept him as the apple of his eye.
That's right, man. It's focus.
Keep going.
All the way to 12.
Gone. As an eagle stirred up her nest.
Whoa, as an eagle? Go ahead.
Fluttered over her young.
Oh, can you read that again a little clearer?
As an eagle stirred up her nest.
Right, what does the eagle do? They stir up the nest when it's time for the eagle to fly. They'll go in and start breaking it up so it get all rough and prickly. And that way a baby eagle will be forced to not be comfortable there anymore. You see that? And they gotta jump out and they're forced to learn to fly. You see that? And what happens, that leads you into faith. Because when you're flying, you either have faith that you're gonna be to fly, or you're gonna have faith that you have something soft to land on. Either way, the Lord gonna protect us. All right, so we flew as a nation. We flew out of there speedily. But he said what? The Lord stirred up Egypt, started shaking up Egypt. That's what he's doing in this Egypt. He's shaking it up. He said, arise, this is not your rest. All right, he's shaking it up so we won't be comfortable here. The same way an eagle do it, like they did in Egypt. Go ahead.
As an eagle stirred up her nest, fluttereth over her young.
Fluttereth over her young, man. That's how Yahushua protected us. Go ahead.
Spreadeth abroad her wings.
Right.
Taketh them, beareth them on her wings.
Right. Taketh them and bear them on her wings. All right. So the Lord buried us on eagle's wings. That's what that means. Okay. That don't mean America. Or the eagle don't mean the Roman Empire right there. All right. He buried us on eagle's wing, meaning he took care of us. Go ahead.
Hey, that goes with the scripture Canuck brought out earlier on how the government is going to be on his shoulders. Man.
That's right. Oh, go ahead, brother.
Verse 12. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him.
There you go. There wasn't no damn idols that did it. There wasn't no Allah, no Krishna, no Zeus, none of that shit. You know? It was all Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man, that led us out and buried us on what? Go ahead, Art. Revelation 12. So the same way we fled into the wilderness from the face of the serpent, and we were nourished there, and the Lord had a place prepared for us, is the same way he delivered us out of Egypt. He protected us. All right, go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 12. I'm going to start back at verse 14.
All right, that eagle represents care and safety, all right, and guidance.
And to the woman were giving 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might flee into the wilderness and to her place.
Right, Ezekiel 20 and 35. Right, in that place. See, now we fled into the wilderness, meaning all over the world, you know, at the known world at that time. And then later we fled into our place. What's that place? Arsarit, okay, America. That's the place that was prepared, you know, beyond Europe and Egypt and all these different places. All right, so wherever our people ran to, the Lord has safety there waiting for us. This is Ezekiel 20 and 35. Yep.
This is Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 35. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face.
Right. So now the Lord brought us into this wilderness of the people, meaning the nations. All right. And now he's pleading with us, judging us face to face, man. All right. And they're going to have to deal with them. People like IUIC, the Lord going to judge them face to face. You know, especially when he show up. He said every eye going to see him. And he going to bring that judgment.
That's scary. That's scary.
That's some scary stuff, man.
That's some scary stuff.
Right. All right, like this guy here. Who are you looking at? He must want some face to face from the Lord, Yahweh Shai. All right, getting rebuked. Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10. And now also the axe is laid to the root of the trees. Therefore, every tree.
The axe is laid to the root of the trees. What's that? The axe is laid to the house of Israel. All right. So the Lord is what? Hewing down certain trees. All right. The Lord hewing down, cutting down these camps, man, and these false prophets. Go ahead, brother.
Therefore, every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Right, so they got to bring forth good fruit, not just any fruit. They got to bring forth good fruit, man. Okay? And what's the good fruit is the truth. The truth that the Father's name is Yahweh and his Son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right? And that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're the Israelites of the Bible, and the Lord looking for 144,000 men to turn back to him. That's right, and repent. That's right, brother. You get it, bro. Salam, man. Peace, bro. All right, peace. All right. We pointed at you. We saw you listening. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you good. You good. All right. Somebody got a paper for him? They're going to give you the paper to our website. All right. That we can catch up on everything that you probably missed. All right. Because we at the end of this thing, man. The Lord about to destroy this place, Babylon, America. And he said before he destroys this place, he's going to wake us up to who he is. That's right, brother. Everything for a reason, man. Bless. You catch everything, you know. It's all good. That's brotherly love right now. Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against me.
Whoa. Cover your head.
Your head.
All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I'm against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Now, you telling Edomite that today, do you think he's going to believe that? Because of the position that they have on earth right now? Now he don't feel like the Lord against. They feel like they're the Lord's people for real, man.
You try to tell Esau that, he's going to say, man, you late. I'm going to fire you. Like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, though, man. The Lord said you're going to slavery. You're still late. You got to get back to work.
But until that time.
Hey, proud, man. Proud as those, man.
Is that what you thought?
Yeah. Inside joke. Man, that was it.
I get verse 4. This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 4. I will lay thy sins waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
That's right, man. That's right. So the Lord, that's right. He said you're going to know it. They're going to know it in that day. He said all the world is going to have knowledge of the Most High, man. They're going to know who he is. Why? One, because we're out here prophesying his name. And two, because Yahweh is about to show up and make the whole world know. Are they going to bring the smack down?
The people, though.
Yeah, that's right. The heavenly elbow. All right.
Keep going.
Yeah, so we read that part, right? 14?
Gone.
Let's stop at nourished. Read that 14 again. Let's stop at the word nourished.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might flee into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time.
Right, so now you understand that. All right, that eagle, it represents the Lord's protection and covering while we're in the wilderness and scattered, all right? And basically obsolete, you know, as a nation. And all the nations were confederate against us. They said what? Man, let us cut them off from being a nation. We ain't got to get that. I really don't want to get in school. But that's right, man. Let us cut them off from being a nation, man. And they tried to do that. But the Lord,
bands asunder.
That's right, man. They try to cut our bands asunder, man. That's right. So now, nerds, let's get 1 Corinthians 10 and 3, John 4 and 14. All right, let's see how we were going to be nourished for a certain time, man.
All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, starting at verse 3.
Yep.
And they all eat the same spiritual meat.
Whoa, so we eating over here. That's where we at. We in the wilderness eating. All right, so we eating the spiritual meat. That's why he say desire sincere milk of the word. We drinking it. You got the water. You got the feast that the Lord laying out for us. All right, in the wilderness. He said, I prepared the table. Somebody get that? Come on, man. I prepared a table for thee. Somebody know what that's at? Prepare the table. In the presence of that, come on with it, bro. Keep reading.
1 Corinthians 10 and 3.
Yep.
And they all eat the same spiritual meat, and they all drink the same spiritual drink.
Come on, man.
For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahushua.
Woo! Ain't that something? So we're drinking up that rock now. He said, what? Come to me, all ye that thirst. All right, the Lord said he'll quench that thirst. All right, so this is that drink. The wine, the water, the milk, the oil. You know, so the Lord has created a feast over here where we're being nourished, building up our bones. He said, desire to send some milk that ye may grow thereby. All right, he said his word is going to be health to thy navel, and strength to thy bones. All right, that's what you're doing. We eating. Go ahead.
This is John chapter 4, verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Right, go to 14.
14.
4 and 14.
This is John chapter 4, verse 14.
Yep.
But whatsoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst.
There you go.
But
So-
the water that I shall give him shall be given in the well of sprinkling, going up into everlasting life.
There you go, man. So we're drinking this water, man. And that water going to lead you all the way to everlasting life. Look at that, man. All right, so that's that being nourished in the wilderness, man.
Precept.
Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of St. John, chapter 1 and verse. I'll start at verse 22. Then said they unto him, who art thou, that we may give an answer to them that sent us? What sayest thou of thyself? He said, I am the voice of the one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of the Lord, as said the prophet Isaiah.
Right, yep.
And they which were sent were of the Pharisees. And they asked him and said unto him, why baptize thou then, if thou be not that anointed, nor Elias, neither that prophet? John answered them, saying, I baptize with water, but there standeth one among you whom ye know not. You know, so they don't know Yahushua.
Right.
You know, and John, which paved the way for Yahushua. You know, that's what John was trying to tell them, man. John being Elijah, all right?
Yep.
Abba Bivens, all right? The one crying in the wilderness, man.
Right, yep.
Leading us to the Father.
Leading up, yep. That's right, man. And that's that water. He said, John was teaching the spirit of baptism about repentance. You know, and you had the wicked scribes and Pharisees, basically the Sanhedrin, they were teaching sacrifice stuff. All right, but you had John teaching the spirit of repentance and being baptized, man. But he was saying there's gonna be somebody that show up that was greater than him. That's right. So let's get back to this nourished.
This is on Psalms chapter 23, verse 5. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over.
There you go, man. All right, so he prepared a table for us in the presence of our enemies. He said, wisdom said, I have slain my oxen, and everything is ready. Everything's prepared. Tell them to come and eat. Come to the marriage supper, all right, of the bride, which is the elect of Israel, getting themselves prepared, being nourished, all the way until Yahushua shows up. And the bride and the groom, the husbandman, going to be put together by the father that's giving them away. All right? So, all right, let's go. 1 Kings.
We got a quick introduction.
1 Kings 19. 1 all the way to 10. Go ahead.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 22, verse 26. The meek shall eat and be satisfied. They shall praise the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that seek him. Your hearts shall live forever. Con, and I just brought that out to back up the brothers, man. You know, because we was talking about that nourishment, that table that was left in the wilderness for the hopeful elect, man. You know, the meek of our people, which is the lowly and the humble, they're going to eat of this roll and be satisfied, man. None going to want their mate, man. They're going to stick strictly to the scriptures, the book, to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it's because there's no light in them, man. As it states in the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20.
Come on, brother. All right. John 7 and 27 and 37. Great point, bro.
The book of St. John, chapter 7 and 37. In the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So, hey, your aunt being single, all right, and something with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and seeking him 10 times more, he'll sup with you, man. And you'll be fed, man. You'll be spiritually full, all right, with the water, all right. You'll be fed the proper provender, all right, to be built up in the spirit, all right, to know the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord, man.
Matter of fact,
and you'll be able to go out and teach man so and help seal the elect, so we can get the hell up out of here.
All right. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna go into it, but you know that's talking about Elijah. When he was fed the cakes by the angels, when he went to sleep, and he was given the cake, he woke up with a cake there. You know, that was an example of us being nourished and taken care of. You know, not just spiritually, but being fed and kept alive. That what it means, basically saying keeping you alive. You know,
he teleported with a plate of food and the lions.
That was Habakkuk. Yeah, he sent Habakkuk into the lions and with Daniel. You right?
It was either the crow or the raven that fed
Elijah.
In the drought.
In the drought. Yep, and he gave him cakes. Like he woke up, it was a cake. The angel baked the cake for him. And then he went to sleep. There was another cake there. He baked another one for him. He said, "Hurry and eat all of it. Because you're gonna have to carry this for like 40 days, something like that." Y'all gonna get it. We can go into it, but I'll do that another lesson on that. All right. We already got that John 7. Let's go to 15. Verse 15. Revelation 12 and 15.
It's back in Revelation chapter 12. In verse 15, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman.
All right, keep going.
That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
There you go. So that shows you who the serpent is. We read that. We know who the serpent is. That's the Roman Empire. All right, and they cast out a flood, meaning what? The army. All right, you know. They rose up an army against us to try to kill us. But the Lord said, what? Next verse?
Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman. The earth helped the woman.
That's right. That's talking about all these nations.
And the earth opened her mouth.
That's right. And the earth opened her mouth, man. They opened up their arms to us. They said, yeah, come on, I got you over here. Hide here. All right? And it's really talking about the elect being the woman, okay? So the Lord took care of us, man, just like he's going to do out here, man. When this place shut down, you never know how the Lord, he said, you're going to eat. He said, my servant shall eat. Is this not an example of it? You know, you can get it if you need. Yep. Go ahead, brother.
And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
There you go. All right, and that flood is the same way they're going to try to show up now. That same flood. All right, let's get 2nd Ezra 7 and 26.
Appreciate it.
Go ahead, definitely. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall have for vexation of spirit. So come, man, just how the brother was speaking on, man. Hey, in those days, hey, we're going to eat, we're going to drink, man. Hey, spiritually and physically, man. You know, hey, so why? Because the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to provide for us, man. You know, hey, what can separate us from the love of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? Tribulation, poverty, death, so forth and so forth, man. You know, famine, hey, none of this can separate us, man. So therefore, hey, all these things we don't have to worry about. Why? Because, hey, that's what the Gentiles seek after us, man. Hey, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai know we need these things, so he's going to provide it for us, you know?
Yeah, precept. You can speak on it, y'all. Psalms 18 and 4. The sorrows of death compassed me, and floods of ungodly men made me afraid.
Come on, man. Hey, that's talking about King David, man. All right, and also that's today in this time too as well, man.
Yeah, and 70 AD.
Come on, hey, because hey, Esau about to get ready to come rushing in like a flood. And guess what? Hey, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gonna lift up that standard, man.
Right. The sorrows of hell compassed me. That lets you know hell is a condition. The snares of death prevented me. In my distress, I called upon him, upon Yahweh, and cried unto my power.
So with all that, with all hell being encamped around about us, man, hey, with all that being said, hey, through all the hell, through thick and thin, we call on the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Hey, why? Because through whatever we're going through, it's always a way of succor. All right, for us to get out of that, what feels like it's too heavy for us, man.
That's right.
You know? So with that being said, hey, we're going to call upon the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man.
That's right. It says, he heard my voice out of his temple. It says, our cries have entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. And just like in the time of Egypt, just like in the time of the Roman Empire, he said, we cry with pain, travailing to be delivered.
And also, hey, the Lord is near to those of a broken spirit and a contrite heart, man.
Right, bro.
You know?
And my cry came before him, even into his ears, man.
You know, hey, just like we were speaking on earlier, man. Hey, the angel Raphael delivered those prayers up to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And he heard them, man. So guess what? He's gonna come down and deliver us from out of that tribulation that we're in. All right.
Right. The earth shook and trembled. The foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken because he was wroth or angry. All right. So now let's finish this out, yo. So they got a 2nd Ezra real quick. The car got it.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 26. 7, verse 26. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen that is now withdrawn from the earth.
There you go. So now we're being seen. See, we were withdrawn from the earth. All right, especially during the time of 70 AD. They thought we was done. They ran us into the desert, into non-existence, obscurity. But now the Lord said, what? Now she's going to be revealed. You know, that which is her that is withdrawn from the earth. All right, so we're going to be revealed, man, especially coming from the heavens. All right, last verse, Revelation
chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yahweh and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Right, that's right. So they come now. We're in that time where they're making war with us again. All right, they set up their religious system, the spirits that leaped out of the mouth of Europe like a frog. All right, the banking system, their military system, and their religious system. Right, that's right. So they're setting war against us, man. That's what all this is about. You know, and what do you say? Enemy wrestling like a flood. Yep. Let's bring that out, and then let's bring this out.
This 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 7.
Yep. Then we're gonna shut it down.
For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
That's right. So they're not gonna be sparing nobody. You know, they're going to be sent in here like Gurkha troops or the martial law troops. They're not going to be sparing anybody, especially with these mandates. Look what they're doing over in China. They're going to people's house, dragging them out.
Oh,
so yeah, we ain't got going. You know, be careful. See, I'm kind of like, but you know, we do talk about, you know, but what you saying? What you say? Yeah. So they're going to be persecuting us. And the persecution really going to be on us because we're the only ones that really standing strong. You got people in these other religions, they're giving right into it. And when it comes down to the wire, the only one that's still going to be against this place is the elect.
That those 7,000 men that he kept, that didn't bow to the Baal, man. He kept to himself.
That's right. The innumerable number of men, which, you know, or complete number in that sense. It'd be 144,000 and the 1/3, which is an innumerable number. You know? So yeah, man. That's not going to bow down to this system. And they're going to try to put hell on us because of that. All right? But what the Lord say, let's end it with this. That same flood that scattered us in 70 AD, they're going to try to bring that again. But what the Lord say this time? All right? And we're not going to be ran into no deserts no more. Somebody please bring it out.
This is Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord.
You heard it.
This is Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, from the west, in his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them.
That's right, man. So the Spirit of the Lord is going to lift up a standard against these damn devils, all right? You're going to say, touch not my anointed. Get your hands off. All right? So, you know, protected by Yahweh Shai. Stand back. You know, so with that, man, we're going to end it there, man. So that's a lesson on Revelation 12, dealing with the dragon, the war in heaven, the woman, how she got persecuted in the Roman Empire, you know, the Iron Empire, you know, and ultimately how her child was sent up to the right hand of the Father and persecuted too, and how we're going to be delivered in the end, you know, and no longer hidden in obscurity anymore. And now, he said, we're the hidden ones. But he said, what? Thy eyes shall see thy teachers. You know, so the Lord said, what? We're a light now. And we got to put our light on the top of a candlestick for the whole house to see. You know, so we don't hide anymore. All right, so with that, man, we're going to end it. We're going to say, Kal, Alayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS that rule well, and their elders, and shalom to you, Akim, and Nagwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth, and Tawada for supporting our videos. And please share the videos, man. All right, so then we say shalom.
Push up the top.
Ya, what's up? Dale, que yo vine a trabajar.
I can't stop, right?
Yeah, I got it.
Yo, you got some cheese?